Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob, and today we're playing Dice Throne Missions, the co-op slash solo expansion, whatever the heck you want to call it, for Dice Throne. Dice Throne, if you're new here, we've played a few times on the channel. You can find that in the video description. This is specifically Marvel Dice Throne product line, but it's a way to turn the 2 to 4 player or more competitive Dice Throne into cooperative slash solo multiplayer cooperative Dice Throne, however you want to call it. But we're going to play some missions. We're going to play a mission today against a villain. Specifically, we will only be playing with X-Men and X-Men villains during this series because it's Rob's Gaming Table and I do what I want, okay? But you can totally play this with any Dice Throne character, hero, whatever, from any of the product lines that exist. And you can just slap them in here and have some co-op fun if you can't find friends to play Dice Throne with. Anyways, all right. Welcome, Larry. Hello. Hello to everyone joining live. Hello to you joining later. Special thank you to these folks for supporting the channel, allowing us to, full disclosure, purchase this game on Kickstarter or crowdfunding of some kind a while back. We backed the X-Men and the missions and all that stuff that was purchased with our own funds. This is not a paid playthrough or a free copy from the publisher or anything like that. We bought this and yeah, we'll complain about it or not and just give our own honest opinions and stuff as we play through it. But yeah, hello everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna put a poll in the chat. Oh, by the way, we have almost 20 likes already and we just got started. Thank you everyone for clicking the like button. Really helps the channel out, really helps other people find the channel. Helps us grow, helps fill up the chat with awesome folks. Mainly awesome folks. There's a few that you know. But anyways, mainly awesome folks. But yeah, I was gonna put a poll in the chat. I was just curious. I was curious for those here live. Let me just. I'm just curious. Have you played Dice Throne in any form? Dice Throne Adventures. Played Dice Throne against somebody, played your friend's copy, played at a convention. Why is my chair stuck? I don't know. But yeah, I'll leave that poll in the chat for those who are here live if you want to vote on that. I'm just curious how many people watching have played any form of Dice Throne. That'll also help me understand, like, explaining the game and whatnot. I guess I'll explain kind of how the game works, but there is an official 10-minute quick little Marvel Dice Thrones official video officially in the playlist. No, it's in the information section down in the video description. If you want to in 10 minutes see how missions functions, if you're like interested in like, oh, I want to get into it, but I'm not sure, and you don't want to sit here for a couple hours watching me play it. But I will explain how it works. We'll play through a full playthrough, hopefully make it to the boss fight. And then we'll just talk about it. Maybe we'll even stream more if you're interested. Obviously depends on, the view count and the watch minutes and the like clicks and whether I feel like playing it again and all the usual stuff. But yeah, so maybe we'll try with some other heroes. Today we're going to try Wolverine and we're going to play against Mystique, I think is the mission I picked. Hopefully I brought the right one. I played a couple already. I've tried out Cyclops also. Yeah, Mystique. But I was playing that last week off stream, just trying the game out. It's a very clever way to simulate you playing against like another Dice Throne player kind of thing, or have a team playing against another Dice Throne player, because they like attack you and defend in some cases, and there's like punishments and all this kind of stuff. But it's very interesting kind of how they turned a competitive game into a cooperative game. And whenever that happens, there's always like weird things that are things they have to solve, because obviously the competitive game here, Dice Throne was never designed, you could tell, to be ever played like cooperatively or solo. And they've tried with adventures to make a way to play it, and now they have missions, another way to play it cooperatively or solo. But that's a popular way to play games in the board gaming space, in the hobby, so if your game is only competitive, you're kind of like leaving money on the table, and they obviously found a way to like bend and duct tape and bubble gum and make some kind of cooperative mode here. And it's an all right job, I think. As best as you can do, I guess. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. Jacko, hey Mike. Mainly awesome folks and me. I'm here. Oh, okay. Hi. Oh, this is awkward. Gaming through your playthrough while waiting for my copy to be shipped. Wait, hold up. Janet, did you buy your copy like later off of like a retailer's website or something, or your crowdfunding copy didn't show up? Like, how do I have a copy of a game before you? That's not correct usually. That's a very rare thing to happen. But yeah, I'm curious. What's the deal there? Missions and adventures are both fun in my opinion, says Tristan. More boss variety and missions make it more replayable. Okay. I've only played a couple of the boss fights, and I noticed, one thing I noticed right away. The level 1 in missions, it's great for like non-gamers, but a little bit of a snooze fest. So I'm playing with a level 2 mission today that had like a little bit of a twist, still pretty basic. And anyone who's been around the channel for a while, this game is like on the like kind of lower complexity end from games we usually play. But yes, doesn't detract from the fun you might have with it. Just letting you know. Some of you might be watching and be like, why is Rob playing this like dice chucking simple game? But there is a little more depth to it than may appear at first. I'll be honest, when I first saw Dice Throne and played it, I was like, this game is, I don't know why people play it. But because I like more complex, like competitive, like LCGs, CCGs, TCGs, whatever, like, you know, and that's what this is. It's basically like picture like a competitive card game with dice. So a la Star Wars Destiny, if anyone knows that. It's like kind of reminds me of that kind of idea. Where you're just like battling people with a deck of cards and you have some dice to help you fire off abilities and stuff. But this is co-op. So yeah. All right, let's go here. So we're playing with the Marvel Dice Throne. X-Men is technically the base game, okay? You can use any Dice Throne hero, and that is like your base game. So if you just bought like one hero or borrowed a hero from a friend or something, like bought a single pack, like even the, I don't know if I have it nearby, but the Santa and Krampus Dice Throne 2-pack that we played with on the channel like a year or two ago, that gives you 2 heroes. So you technically could play 2-player in Dice Throne missions. So Dice Throne missions is an expansion, and it's not standalone. You need a Dice Throne hero from any of the product lines. But we're playing with only Dice Throne X-Men as our hero choice. So if I play it, say tomorrow on live stream, if we have fun today, and you guys are interested, we could play a different hero tomorrow and maybe a more complex mission or something, and only X-Men themed, of course. I refuse to play anything not X-Men included in missions, because I'm a snob. All right, so we're just gonna do that. But yeah, this is the expansion we're playing. So Dice Throne missions. A little confusing, but if you just go buy this giant box that looks like its own standalone board game, you'll be sad because you cannot play it without a Dice Throne hero. But again, any hero will do. So like, you know, when you're at a convention and they're demoing Dice Throne, you just go look over there and you distract the person demoing it and just steal a single hero and you'll be able to play missions, no problem. That's just, is that easy, okay? Just so you know. So Janice says, my Kickstarter copy is not shown up yet. I ordered all the playmats. So, oh yeah, once you start adding, yeah, this is a thing lately, is if you ever go all in on a crowdfunding campaign or add on some weird thing that doesn't get mass produced for all the pledges, like some special dice tray or a custom dice holder or a cool neoprene mat or something, a very small fraction of the backers will actually back that. So when they manufacture them, it's like not a priority and it probably costs more and all this stuff. But somehow it always messes with the shipping fulfillment. They always fulfilled the basic pledge first. So that's another reason why I've kind of gone to like backing pledges at the lowest level. Just give me the gameplay. I don't need the extra fancy stuff because it will just delay my pledge. Half the time it arrives like the upgraded stuff, like I've gotten custom dice trays that just are broken. I have to go through customer service and like, and since they're a niche product, it's like they have less of them. You have to wait. They sometimes never reprint them. They're hard to find. Yeah, so like going all in on a pledge is not always the best route. Yeah, it comes with some hassle, of course. But of course, waiting for a game to show up, if it's good now, it'll still be good then. So you're fine. And I'm Janet. I know you have other stuff to play, so, and paint. So you don't have to worry at all. How many difficult levels are there? Dr. Chud, there are the same amount as in normal Dice Throne. I think it's 1 through 6, which is funny because the game's based around dice. It's 6-sided dice. So yeah, you can have a hero complexity of 1 through 6, and they'd use the same scale for difficulty on scenarios, which is interesting. I've also included in the video description, if you want to follow along, look up any rules or anything, I've included the link to the Dice Throne. This is a page I like bringing up. Every time I bring Dice Throne back to the channel, I kind of go to this FAQ page. I've included the link, like I said, down below. But here you can find a link to the Rules Pop website that we use. We use Rules Pop for a few other games we play on the channel. It's nice to look things up very quickly. But all the reference updated materials, they have some new hero boards that you could print out or get printed maybe at your local print shop or something to fix some of the balance issues in the game. For certain heroes, they have all the updated rule books, some comic, you know, all this stuff. It's all linked below. So if you want to go open the PDF for the rules and you're like, I don't really know Dice Throne, how does it work? The base game, the rule book's right here, the latest and greatest. Even if you own Dice Throne, you haven't played in a bit, you might be using an out-of-date rule set that might be a little cleaner, easier to reread the next time you go to sit down and play it. So I always, whenever I go to pull out Dice Throne and play it, every so often, I will go right to here to get the latest rules and read through that before I put it back on the table, just to make sure I'm like fully up to date, you know, with the latest rules. So they're kind of like living documents. So FYI, super helpful resource. All right. Okay, so here's a bunch of crap on the table, a lot of stuff. Let me just blow your mind here. I guess Adventures kind of had this too, right? This is the token tray that comes with the co-op expansion. Here's how many tokens, like health tokens, shields, and all these other things, and statuses, and other things for different enemies, and first player tokens, and all this kind of stuff. That's a lot of tokens. A lot of tokens. A lot of tokens. Just want to show that. It's kind of off screen, but I just want to show it. Like, setting that up took like 3 days. No, I'm just kidding. I had bandages all over from punching out all the cardboard, paper cuts. It was quite the ordeal, okay? So just be ready for that, okay? Lots of cardboard punching and sorting of tokens. That did not come that way. It came with like 75 sheets of cardboard you had to punch out and sort in there. But it does show you how to sort them like on the side of the box, so it's pretty good. Also, this game, if you notice, this game is a 2.33 complexity, okay? But out of all the games we play on the channel over the last decade plus, this game may have the largest rulebook I've ever seen. Compared to games we played that are 4-point-something complexity, that have 70-something page rulebooks, this may be bigger than all those rulebooks combined. And I actually don't mean page count, literally just the biggest rulebook. This thing is freaking huge. Huge. Let me show you the basic rulebook, if I can find it. This is the regular Dice Throne rulebook, okay? To play the 2-player game or the 4-player game, however you want to play it, competitive. And then here's the Dice Throne missions book, okay? Now, before there was the internet, I used to do a part-time job when I was younger. I used to deliver the internet to people's houses every morning, and I would put the internet on their front porch. It was called, at the time, actually, it was called the newspaper. And that's what this feels like. People used to get their information through newspapers, which were giant papers you fold out and read, okay? That's what this is like reading. It reminds me of reading the newspaper. For anyone who can look up a historical video of how that used to be, that's what this is like. I don't know why the hell it's like this. I know why. It's, I guess, to save box size and shipping and costs and all that stuff. But this rulebook is silly. It takes up my entire table. Without the game. I just thought that was hilarious. As soon as I opened the box, I'm like, Mel, look at this rulebook. She's like, what the hell is this? I'm like, yeah, this is crazy. It's only like 8 pages. But that's because each page counts as like 4 normal pages. I just thought I'd mention that. It's kind of silly and funny. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but yeah. It's huge. And the problem is, I need to keep this nearby for the reference on the back. Which I do like references on the back of my rulebooks, because if I'm going to keep them at the table, I want to be able to see information, right? Not just a wasted piece of art, right? So I do need to keep this at the table and nearby, but it is still freaking huge, and that's annoying. But still funny and weird. So yeah. Mike says, before the internet, how old are you exactly? Did you ride a dinosaur to this newspaper place? Yes. Yes, we used to ride dinosaurs to deliver these said newspapers to people's front porches. And then on the weekend, we'd have to go back and try to collect the money for those internet on papers, newspaper thingies, to try to get paid for that delivery. And sometimes people wouldn't pay. And then I would ride my dinosaur back later in the evening with a carton of eggs and then deal them justice. That's how I used to do it when I was younger. Yeah. I got mine. Anyways, all right. But yeah. Michael Ware says, after being all in with Marvel Champions, I cannot get too deep into Dice Throne. I will enjoy vicariously through these videos. Yeah. I'll be honest. I do enjoy Marvel Champions a lot more than Dice Throne. Okay. A lot more. But Dice Throne's still fun. It's like a different kind of level. It's like, yeah, definitely less crunchy, less work to get it set up and start playing, which we're going to go through right now. Unless you're playing with like pre-built decks of Marvel Champions, then obviously that's like, it doesn't take long at all, right? Mike, you know. All right. So that comes with a nice reference card for setup. So we have a hero in Dice Throne. We're going to roll dices. And these dices will help us. We're going to play Yahtzee, basically, which I now know what that is from playing it at a family member's house. Unfortunately, recently, that was punishing. But yeah, anyways, we're going to play basically Yahtzee, 3 roll attempts, or King of Tokyo for those modern board gamers. And, we're going to do 3 roll attempts, and then we're going to try to make sets to satisfy different abilities on this board to try to get, healing or attack or whatever. To be clear, I've only played the missions twice. I haven't played Dice Throne in a while. I did play it last week, but hadn't played in a while before. I've only played Wolverine 1 time, so I'm not here to show you this is how you play Wolverine and crush everything. It may happen by accident, but we're not here to show you the best strategy. I'm just kind of showing off the game and having some fun playing live on the internet. All right, we have an ultimate ability if you hit all 6s. And again, it's not just about the roll, because if it was just about the roll, this game would be complete trash. But this is what saves it. You have a deck of cards, and the majority of these cards are like kind of commons that are across every Dice Throne hero, right? But there are cards in here that are unique to your hero, okay? But what's mainly important about these, this is dice mitigation is on these pieces of paper that will help mitigate some of the crappy rolls you have, or the pushing your luck aspect can help you recover from a bad roll by using your cards at the right time. And this is where the depth comes into play, is knowing when to hold these cards, when to use them. Should you use them to mess with your opponent's dice? Should you use them to change your dice? When is the right time to do that? When you should roll once and just take what you got versus pushing for another roll. Mal, thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's all about the card play. Okay, it's all about the card play. This is what makes this game pretty sweet, in my opinion, and what draws me to it is this deck of cards, because I love competitive card games. So that's basically what this is. Except for you're not just playing cards to like punch your opponent, you're playing cards to help your dice punch your opponent, if that kind of makes sense. That's the best way I kind of like explain it. So yeah. And we're going to be battling henchmen, which are kind of printed on this board. This board here, there's a whole bunch of these, like a scary amount of them that come in missions, okay? And they're all standalone. There is a ton, okay? There's like 1,000. I don't even know how many, okay? I've already taken the X-Men ones and sorted them to the top because I refuse to play anything but X-Men ones. So I'll be playing through these myself, and they go in increasing difficulty. That one's sick. I remember reading Onslaught when I was younger. Yeah, so for now we're just playing level 2, but I think there's a level 1 difficulty Morlock here. And it tells you right in the top left, so you can kind of know, which difficulty you're looking at and the duration, okay? And I just grabbed Mystique because she was the first level 2 I saw that was actually like X-Men themed. And yeah, so there's like a level difficulty level 3, Duration 70 to 90 minutes. Jeez. We got Magneto, who's difficulty 3, 45 to 70. Onslaught's at difficulty 4, and then we stop there. So I don't even know who do I have to play with to get a higher. Oh, here we go. We got difficulty 5 there. Of course, it's Thanos. But yeah, a whole bunch of them in here. So what these do, they kind of increase the difficulty, but they also increase the complexity. So my understanding by looking at a few of them is they get more interesting the further you get. So the basic levels are usually pretty simple to help you learn the game. They're not too challenging. They're not too rules complex, which is nice. That's good. You got to respect your new player, right? But they do recommend when you're playing this game, when you're picking your mission or your hero, kind of stay at a lower level until, and this is where it also gets cool. You guys know I love playing games where you're like grinding experience over multiple playthroughs. We play lots of campaign games on the channel, you know, or like fantasy adventure games, dungeon crawlers, whatever. And we're like gaining experience, getting new cards, new abilities. And this one has these player perks. This is tied to the player. So no matter which hero I play with, and no matter which mission I play with, no matter which player count I play at, based on the difficulty I'm playing, my understanding is, and I've not checked any off, even though I played, I was going to check some off to kind of show this off today, but I figured I'm playing a level 2 scenario, so like, let's keep it just basic for now. Maybe we'll retcon some of the leveling up that I should have done before the stream, but we'll do this at the end of stream, if I remember. But you basically get perk points. So how this works is there's a main objective on the henchman side of the mission. And if you defeat every single enemy on this side, minus the environmental enemy here, in our case, it's the sniper. You cannot hit the sniper. The sniper is going to be alive no matter what. But if I defeat all the troopers, all the riot control, and the captains, I can get the perfect completion reward before moving on to the other side. I don't have to, but if I do, I can earn an extra point. So you get a point just for beating the first side. You get an extra point if you perfect the first side. And then if you beat the second side, which is fighting Mystique in this case, the boss fight, you get an extra perk point. So you can get up to 3 perk points every time you play the game. Per player. So every player will get that if they're playing with you and you all win, right? But as soon as one player is defeated, it's over and you lose, right? And you can then take a pencil or whatever, you rip off a sheet, you write your name on it, and then also based on you beating them all at different difficulties and stuff, that gets tracked on here. And you can get different abilities to help you out. And they say if you're going to pick a harder mission, like if I'm going to go play a difficulty 4, they recommend having some of these abilities unlocked to help give you extra health, extra damage, extra cool abilities you can fire off once per game, extra starting combat points or momentum, which I'll explain what that is in a sec. And you can work your way up and beef yourself up so that you can take on some of the 4 and 5 difficulties. Because if you do it without leveling up, you may not be able to beat it. It may be challenging. That the game is balanced, that you are going to be leveling yourself up as you work your way through. You can play any mission in any order, anything you want, doesn't matter, do whatever you want. But they have designed it so, the first game they recommend not pulling out like a 4 difficulty and playing it, you'll probably get smashed. What they say is like play one of the difficulty ones, earn a few of these checks, then work your way up, and you can pick whoever you want, play whatever you want. You can go back. If you start losing at level 4, you're like, you can go back, play some level 2s, grind some more checks off, and then work your way through it. But that's how this game's kind of designed. And that's why I'm not just grabbing like a level 5, jamming it on the table and going, let's go. Because you're meant to grind this game. And here's the cooler part, okay? If you can perfect and complete one of each from 1 to 5, you can unlock New Game Plus, and it will let you play with your mythic cards and stuff when you play. So there's this like additional, like basically achievement or trophy system, basically straight out of like, Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, whatever, your achievement system. And then there's your tracker for which ones you've completed and which ones you perfected in the game if you want to track them all. But very cool. Very cool. Other than the warping from buying cheap paper because paper costs increase. But yeah, very cool. Very cool. But again, I'm not filled that out, but it's a big part of the game that's like pushed on you. So we're not playing with that today, but we'll check it off at the end, just letting you know. So for those who just came here to see what the hell this is all about and don't want to watch a playthrough, that's like just showing you what's involved here. The other thing, oh yeah, if you have any questions in the chat, throw them in there. Is this is this a one purchase and you're good? Or a game where you have to purchase a bunch of sets? So Squirrel Nun, this is, so again, at minimum, I don't know how to compare this game. It's basically compare it to like an LCG or any competitive game, Magic, Pokemon, whatever. You could buy just a starter set for like Magic the Gathering with 2 little decks and you can play them against each other, right? You can try out the game, right? And this game has that. It has like little dual packs where you can get like 2 heroes, or you can buy boxes with like 4 heroes, and you can play against each other and it's fun. It's a game in itself. But it is designed that eventually you might get a little bored playing the same heroes. You might want more. So they literally have a crowdfunding campaign every like year, I think, where they're literally trying to push more heroes on you from different like backgrounds. Most recently I saw they were trying to push like a horror theme, Halloween theme kind of set of heroes. They've done Marvel. They did like Santa and Krampus. But the idea is you just pick a set of heroes you like, or a hero product, and play that game. And it's meant to be just its own game. But then you kind of play that and you want to play more. But the idea is you just get a set and you play against friends, and you could go to events and tournaments and local plays at your board game store if they host organized play. And you can play against each other just like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon or Marvel Champions. You could play with people, or Star Wars Unlimited, these kind of like cooperative or competitive games. And you can just play with people in the community, so you don't have to buy everything. But if you're just going to play at home and play cooperatively or solo, you need the expansion to kind of add that mode. And there's only 2 that are like that. There's Dice Throne Adventures, which is like kind of like a fantasy-ish kind of themed campaign version. And then there's missions, which are just standalone Marvel-themed missions to kind of go with the Marvel set, but you can mix and match it all. It's crazy. So yes, it gets expensive. This is one of those games, because the company is obviously like lives on crowdfunding. They're one of those companies that like literally has a new crowdfunding campaign all the time, and like all they have to do is fail 1 or 2 of them and then they'll be like out of business probably. But they live and breathe on there. So they have to keep coming out with new content, right? They're hoping people just keep collecting it all. And the problem with that, people get like, you know, too much of it on their shelf and they fall out. But they're hoping new players are always coming in, and that's what keeps them alive. We've seen this with like Marvel Legendary still pumping. Are we back? Are we back? Oh, hold on, my chat's not refreshing. Sorry, power outage there for those who didn't notice in the chat. Yeah, we should be good. Yeah. We're good? Are we back? Holy jeez. I haven't rebooted my router in a while. I guess my power company just decided to do it for me and cut the whole power to the house. That was fun for like a minute. Completely in the dark. We're back. All right, so holy crap. Yeah, that was awkward. So anyways, I don't know what I was saying, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, you can buy as little of this game as you want, but it's designed that you might want more of it. Might cost quite a pretty penny to get it all. And some of it is like mainly offered through crowdfunding or direct from their website, maybe through retailers. So kind of getting it all. I don't know what's in print all at the time. But the game's been around for, I don't know, 5+ years, I think, at this point of product. So, but yeah, you could just buy Dice Roll missions. But again, you're going to need some heroes to play with. So that's up to you which hero pack you want to buy. And there's even, I know for a bit there in like Target, for example, some big box stores, they were carrying like the op games. They handle the retail side. So they have like some smaller, more affordable packs of heroes that they sell in like mass market stores, you know, to the general public, basically, not just in hardcore hobby board game shops, you know. So you could just go and get one of those cheap packs of like 4 heroes, like the Marvel set with Spider-Man and stuff in it, and you could get missions and then just play that. If you want to play it co-op and solo, or you could just buy that pack and play 2-player, 4-player, whatever, you know, competitively. All right. So we're going to get to this. We got to set this up. Too much chatting. Too much power outage and stuff. Okay. So How this is going to work, I'm just going to show you through play at this point. But you basically, your health is kind of balanced based on the players you're playing as. So I'm at 45 health. Here's my health dial as Wolverine. Okay. And next, what do we have to set up for this? We start with 2 CP, which is combat points, which are used to pay for cards. And that will show our cost right here. This is a 0 combat point card. So, but the colors of the cards tell you basically what phase they can be played in. Because the basic dice throne has phases and they're color coded too. So you have main phases, things that can be played in the roll phases, which are orange, and you know it's color coded. And then there's red cards that can be played at any time, even on your opponent's turn, that kind of stuff. Okay, pretty straightforward. All right, and we start with 0 momentum. I should explain momentum though. For those who have played Dice Throne, which thank you for voting on the poll. 50% of you watching right now have never played Dice Throne, and 50% of you have. So for those that have played, there is I want to say it's called, since they have enemies like statically on the board here, and in our case we also have innocent bystanders who are trying to find out which one's Mystique. But these enemies have specific spaces, and we have our own spaces that we're going to move around on with our cool Wolverine standee, okay? So we'll move around on the board, and we can get adjacent to an enemy and roll our dice and punch them and get hit back and defend against them and all that kind of stuff, just like normal Dice Throne. But what happens when I'm standing over here and I'm not adjacent to any enemy? I can't just attack them. None of my abilities have range. So what they did to fix the game and make it work for the system is they've added something called momentum. It's an extra resource that you now have to manage. And you can get momentum by Paul Guy Games. Thanks for clicking the join button. Thank you so much. Again, thank you for the support. So you could get momentum by using that perk system that we talked about before. So you could start the game with some momentum. You can also get momentum by defeating enemies. So when I defeat an enemy and it's fully off the board, I cover it with one of these to remind me that I deal out 2 momentum among the players, and then I no longer have to defeat that enemy, and now I can even use that space and step on it and stuff, okay? So a little weird that you don't have enemies moving around the board and positions and all that kind of stuff. Like literally movement in this game is if I'm here and I want to move here, I just do it. There is no resources or economy related to movement points. It is literally move however you want, okay? And wherever you end, you could get some bonuses. So we're going to set these up on the game. These are little tokens. And you could land on them and collect bonuses like health, for example. And we're going to set that up in a minute. But I just want to explain the ranged aspect of it. So if I'm over here and I want to attack this enemy, I need to spend momentum. And there's other ways to get momentum through allies. There's an ally component to the game where you can use momentum to buy allies, but they might also give you, you know, ways to gain momentum or spend momentum. I think there's some in there. There might be ways to gain momentum through completing the objectives, the main objective, the perfection objective, whatever, based on the scenario. And we'll go through all that in a sec. But what this momentum does, I can spend this momentum to give myself ranged. It's very weird. But basically, if I roll my dice and I'm going to fire off an attack, let's say this attack right here. And let's say I have the dice for it, whatever, don't worry about that. Let's say I'm going to deal 3 damage to an enemy. Okay, I can't hit any enemy by default. But once I lock in my attack and decide I'm going to hit somebody for 3, and I'm not adjacent to anybody, I must spend momentum. If I don't have any, I can't hit anybody. So I might want to try for something that maybe heals or helps me out, or I may want to make sure I'm moving adjacent to who I want to attack. So the momentum, I literally just need to spend 1, and boom, my range, my attack, no matter what it is, how silly it is thematically, my attack is now a ranged attack. And to keep it super basic and like lighter game, newer gamer friendly kind of thing, like you literally just spend the resource, you now have range, and that range literally can hit anybody on the board. Just like the movement system, it's kind of a joke. Doesn't matter where they are. You just spend 1, boom, your attack now has range, and you can just hit anybody. And if one of these enemies is attacking you from range and you want to defend against them, you cannot defend against them normally with your defense ability. You also have to spend a momentum to now give your defense ability the ability to defend range 1 momentum per attack. And sometimes you will have multiple enemies all attacking you at once because each group of enemies might have multiple units. They might have what's called a multi-attack, and that multi-attack hits at range, hitting every player on the board. So you might get hit by this enemy, this enemy, this enemy, this enemy, all in the same phase, and you might want to defend against each one, and that's going to cost you 1 momentum, and you might not have enough to defend against all of them, so you might be taking some straight up hits. So to have range, because no hero in the game was printed ever to care about range or fighting henchmen, they added this resource to the game to give range on offense and defense to the hero, and it's your choice when to spend it. It's the player's choices, how they want to divvy out the momentum. I'm playing true solo today, so obviously all the momentum I'm getting, it's for me. Selfishly, I'm taking it all. But by defeating enemies, I'll gain more momentum, and also by gaining these little tokens that we'll see on the board, you can gain momentum off these. It's just another resource to manage. So if you're used to managing the combat points to play cards and gain that and spend it for things, same idea. It just goes right along with the regular flow of the game. Just like your health is a resource, you now have momentum, you have combat points. But there is no resource of movement or range points or anything like that. It is super simple. It's not like you might expect from other board games. Okay. A little weird. At first I was reading it and I'm like, really? This is your solution? But it's kind of fun still. Just a little simple. Just a little basic. But that's what they're targeting with the audience, right? We see that with Marvel Champions too, compared to the other living card games that it's based off of. It's like a lot of choices are chosen in that game to make that game a little more straightforward, a little more simple for the audience, which is totally fine because it's based on an IP that is also targeted, at that specific audience. So, but yeah, just keep that in mind. It's not as complicated as I'm probably making it seem. Okay. All right, let's continue with setup. But yes, that's what you need to know about momentum. And again, you can use it to buy allies too, which we'll show when we set those up. So I've chosen my mission. I'm playing against Mystique. I'm going to deal 3 allies face up. So you have this giant deck of allies. I have some like promo allies shuffled in here too that you might not get if you buy this game later at retail. They just came with the game. I just backed like the lowest pledge thingy and they came with stuff. So not that I needed it, but it was there, so I threw it in. Okay, so we're going to pull 3 allies. Our first ally is Vision. I can purchase him for 1 momentum. And if I purchase him, you can only have 1 ally at a time. Unless you level up perks and stuff, you might be able to earn the ability to have extra allies, okay? Or start with allies. And this ally, they all work kind of different. This is kind of neat. This ally, basically, you could, if you get 3 5s, I might be able to do this effect here. And if I ever choose, after I do this effect, this is a plus exhaust effect. That just means if I ever fire off this effect, at the same time, I have the choice to discard this ally from the game to fire off this plus exhaust effect. And some of these allies, I'll find some examples actually, I'll shuffle it up in a sec. Some of these allies, like Kitty Pryde here, might give you an ability when you recruit them, a one-time ability. Then they might give you something you're allowed to do as long as you spend momentum or whatever, like a once per round ability or whatever. And then they might still have an exhaust ability when you toss them away. And you could always take a new ally and discard the one you have, but you're only allowed to have 1. You start the game with 0 by default, but there is a ton of them, like a ton. Whole bunch, all Marvel characters, tons and tons and tons of these characters, okay? Oh, Ball Guy Games, that sucks. Yes, that sucks. Yeah, I'm sure that was the pain in the butt. But thank you for supporting, of course. No matter what happens, I appreciate it. But yeah, don't stress. It's all good. Jeez. Thanks, Mike. All right. So let's get our first 3 allies. So we got Havoc, cost 3. If I recruit Havoc, I gain a shield. Once per round during my main phase, I can exhaust him to deal 2 collateral damage to all opponents. And again, it's collateral, so that means it's not an attack. And there's the whole table of damage types applies to this the same way as it does to basic Dice Throne, pretty much. So yeah, we'll deal with that stuff if we need to. The only weird thing about Dice Throne is all the like 47 damage types and what ones can be modified, defended, and all that kind of stuff. That's the only weird part that like doesn't fit with the design of the game, like, you know, but at least it's in the rulebook in a nice table for you. We'll look that up if we need to. We got Black Bolt, which is 3 costs. If you get a small straight, you could do a ranged attack dealing 3 collateral damage. No, sorry, not even an attack. Just 3 undefendable collateral damage to all opponents. And then when this fires off, if I also exhaust him, I can inflict paralyze on up to 2 chosen opponents. And then we have Nightcrawler. For 1, can recruit him, gain a shield. Once per round during your main phase, spend 2 momentum, take an additional move on the board, then deal 2 collateral damage to an enemy within melee range. So that just means adjacent. So there's melee, there's range. And then I could exhaust them to gain another shield. So these are my 3 allies available in the ally market. And as soon as I buy one, I replace it with another one. If I buy one, I don't need to. They're just there. They're just some cool thing added in for the momentum side of things. Obviously, in harder missions, I probably really want to take advantage of these. And you may have noticed we have this little sheet here, which this is part of the leveling system of the game. So at level 1, you have a momentum 1 action reference sheet. So the only 2 actions I can take with momentum are recruiting an ally and gaining range, as I discussed. And then it reminds you that start player will distribute 2 momentum when you defeat a henchman, basically. But if you level up off that perk system, you could work your way up to different momentum actions. So I could spend 3 momentum to draw a card, but I haven't earned this yet, so I'm not playing with it. But that's just something else you can level up and work towards and add extra momentum abilities through this system, okay? All right, what else we gotta do? Create enemy dice pool. We have 2 red dice in the enemy pool. Those red dice, the colors of the dice don't matter till the boss fight. Plus, basically, dice based on player. So we're playing with 1 player, so we're just adding 2 black dice. So our pool is 4 enemy dice. Okay? We don't care about the start player, it's us. Place your pawn near the map, done. Point the crisis clock. So this is an additional thing for Dice Room missions that isn't from normal Dice Room. There is a magnetic little clock here that we will roll a die right now. And it starts straight up at 12 o'clock, but based on the result on this die, which is a 2, we are going to rotate this die 2 spaces to kind of add some variability to the game. And basically there's a little phase at the end where this moves based on how many players in the game. So for each symbol it passes through or lands on, you resolve some kind of effect. On the henchman side, that effect based on the symbol will be some crisis ability that is listed underneath each character. I believe if they're defeated, they will not do their crisis ability. So if I get rid of every type, I'm pretty sure, because it does say once per undefeated. So if I have 2 captains alive, I need to fire off the crisis ability twice. If it lands on or passes through this symbol, which matches the symbol of the captain, to remind me this crisis ability fires off once for this guy. And, oh, there's only 1 captain. Sorry, there's only 1 captain. Right? Yeah, only 1 captain. So we would just fire it off once. But if the captain was defeated, we would ignore that. So there is a strategy to looking at the crisis clock, seeing what's coming up, and maybe trying to mitigate it and change priorities and stuff. So that is an extra little mini game to kind of pay attention, to kind of give the enemies a little bit of, besides the normal dice rolling and hitting you, just something else that will happen to punish you in the game. So yeah, we're starting 1, 2. So we know this is going to hit in the second turn, unless we can kill the captain on the first turn. So that's the crisis clock. You're going to see that used a bunch in the game. If we're on the mission run, which just means not the boss fight side, we're going to place required health tokens and shield tokens on each henchman as part of setup. And I wanted to show this because this game says in all their marketing materials, super fast setup. You can get right into the game. But I want to show you with all these tokens, it's not. Depending on how many enemies. So you're going to look down here and see that there is 1 shield symbol, 3 shield symbols, and 1 shield symbol. So we need to give that many shields. And shields in this game basically like block up to 3 defense per hit. So if I hit this guy for 1 damage, it would break this shield because it would just absorb that 1 damage and discard. If I hit him for 4, this would still absorb damage, but only 3 go away, and I would hit him for 1. And I would have to change his health tokens. Okay, so there's tokens here for counting health, little heart tokens. They have 1s and 2s, 3s and 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s. Okay. Anyone see the issue here? Okay, I'll give you a minute. So I'm going to put these shields out here. And all the green guys should get 1 shield. Okay, green guys 1 shield. And then the guys with the giant blue shields, surprise, they have more defense, so they get 3 shields. Okay, and there's 2 of those guys. Okay. Now we look at the health number. And these guys, the green guys have 12 health, the blue guys have 12 health, and the captain has 14. So I need to fiddle in these little trays here and grab a 10 and a 4. Okay. But anyone who's ever played a game with tokens and health, it's cool that they're double-sided, but the fact they're fiddly that it's not like, 1, 3s, and then 5s and 10s, to make it kind of quicker. You have to constantly be grabbing and changing based on their health stat. Kind of annoying. In fact, I don't know if I even want to set them all up with the health. Because it feels kind of super lame, actually, that the game is literally titled Dice Throne and doesn't use dice to track health. It uses crappy tokens. You know what? Problem solved. All right, let's just set this up how it should be. And we're not going to use these garbage, annoying, fiddly, messy tokens. All right. I know these dice might cover the art and maybe, but I think the pile of tokens does it worse. So let's, and these guys are kind of small, but hopefully it lets you see the art while also still letting you see the villain. So yeah, this is what I'm going to do. These dice are not included in the game, unfortunately, but they are cheap. I'm sure you can find cheap small dice on Amazon, but it doesn't really speed up the setup at all. It just makes it fiddly because each enemy has to be set up individually, their exact amount of health as part of setup. So you can sit here and watch me do that live. I'm sorry. I could have preset this up. I probably should have, but I did want to show this because I thought it was funny. They market it as like super fast setup. It's like, are you sure? Are you lying to me? Okay, and obviously there's more enemies on some of the scenarios and less enemies on others. I think I got them all. Okay. It's a dicey situation, I agree. But yeah, it's just letting you know, we're not playing with official components fully. All right. Where were we? So we set up their health tokens and their shield tokens for each henchman. And then we place random boost tiles on each space with a boost symbol, then flip them face up. Okay. So I have here a whole pile of these tokens. There are so many. And each one has a different ability on the other side. So we're just going to set out a bunch randomly. And I guess you could just put these in a bag and like pull them from a bag probably. But you need to keep a discard pile because if you do run through these, which you can, the boss fight pulls a bunch of these. And you're not supposed to reset them after the first side of the board. So we will need to pull new ones. So when it runs out, you just make a new pile and keep going. So I'll just keep them off the side here in a little poker chip tray that I have spare. Anyway, so we'll flip these over and see what we get. Also part of setup every time you play. Okay, I'm gonna try to rearrange them here Okay, so as you see, some of them give us bonus health, some give us bonus damage, some even have text on them. I could remove one status effect from myself or gain a momentum. And again, how you gain these is by just moving, landing on them, and then you just like pop the ability and take them off the board and discard it. Gone. And then I get this ability. So there is a strategy to where you might want to move, not just to get in range of an enemy or away from an enemy to position yourself. You might want to actually fire off one of these effects that is the most beneficial to you. And only one hero can go on each space, so you can't have two people hit on the same space. So if you're playing multiplayer, you can all separate and grab different abilities. But once they're gone, they're gone. On the boss side, though, they will keep adding new ones. And there's a whole crisis mechanic, which we'll go over if we make it to the second side today. And I'll show how that's different, but that's why we have so many of those tokens. And there's probably other abilities we're not even seeing because there's so many on them. But there's like card draw effects also. I don't know what else we're missing, but we'll see as we play. Okay. All right. All right, let's I think I have everything set up. Yell at me if it's not. Yeah. Yeah, I like showing setup for games when we do live streams. I know it takes longer, but I know people later can scrub through it. But I like showing it because like a lot of people watch these to make purchasing decisions too, right? So it's like, you want to see how it truly sets up. You can also just look at the rules that I shared before and kind of get an idea how a game sets up. Because you're going to want to probably play this, you're not going to want to just play this once. You will not get your money's worth, right? You're going to repeatedly play it. And if the game loop involves like horrible setup and teardown, that could turn it off from ever leaving your shelf. And then you're just basically getting ripped off. So you have to know what you can tolerate. So we replace the random boost tiles, then perform any scenario-specific instructions, and then apply any unlock perks. We're not doing the perks thing on purpose, because we're going to pretend like today's our first time ever playing the game with regards to the perk system. So let's figure out what the rules are here. And I know you can't really tell them. I'll try to read them out for you guys. So this is the UN Catastrophe mission. This is the mission run side. Mystique has planted a bomb at the UN, hoping a war will start. Colonel Stryker sends a team of soldiers to stop you from intervening. Corner Mystique so Professor X can read her mind and find the bomb. So additional setup. I need to mix 4 of these tokens. Okay. In here is 1 check mark and 3 X's. Okay. Just so we know. I'm not cheating. I didn't put a whole bunch of check marks in here. I don't even know if there is more. Actually, I can probably find out because the rest of the tokens are right here. Oh yeah. I could totally cheat and put all check marks. But we're actually not trying to find the check mark, I think. Is probably like the best way to do it, I think. But I could be wrong. Okay. So I'm going to shuffle these. And it says mix 1 in here and 3 red X's face down. Then place 1 face down on each politician. So there's politicians here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you notice, some of them I can't even get to because these are obstacles. Anything that's not like a protruding light-colored space, I can't go on until I've cleared it and covered it with these tokens. And sometimes you cover them with flag tokens. Sometimes they're enemies defeated with the momentum tokens, okay? There are a whole bunch of these. But right now, I can't go through these to get to her. But again, there's a way to usually do stuff at range also that has a momentum cost. So I'll just place these at random. And we'll find out what the heck this means in a sec. Okay. So I place them on each politician. So here's the main objective of today's mission. The goal. Close in on Mystique and place clear tiles on 3 politicians. Then move all heroes through the exit. Okay. Move all heroes through the exit or defeat all henchmen. And then we would get the perfect win. And then we still go to the next side. We don't have to go through the exit in that case. So how do we reveal mystery tiles? How do we get to peek and hunt for Mystique? There are 2 ways to reveal a mystery tile. 1, at the conclusion of the movement phase. So after we choose our move and where we're going to land, okay, before we roll dice, before we attack, all that stuff. Where is it? Any mystery tiles that have a hero adjacent are flipped face up. So if I can get adjacent to this one, I can't right now because it's surrounded by enemies. But again, if I defeat these enemies and cover them, I'm able to go on those spaces and reach this, right? So some of them are hiding behind the guys, which is kind of cool. This is why I want to play this one, because it's kind of neat with the positioning stuff. So if I'm adjacent to this, I flip them over at the end of movement. The second way is the first player can spend 3 momentum. Okay. 3 momentum during the main phase. So when we're like, you know, basically playing cards from our hand, maybe to upgrade our board and stuff. During the main phase, I can spend 3 momentum. Where am I? Yeah, 3 momentum to reveal 1 mystery tile. Okay. Doesn't matter where it is. Oh, top right, blue doesn't have 12. I knew somebody would catch it. Where? Top right, blue doesn't have 12. Did I miss one? Oh, right here. Top left? I think it's good now, right? Okay. Karmowitz, thank you. Yeah, oh, left. Okay, perfect. Thank you. I knew I would mess something up and you guys would catch it. So yeah, feel free to yell at me. It's all good. I appreciate the help. Takes a village to play a game on Rob's gaming table. All right. So we can also flip them by spending momentum. So that's another way we might want to save momentum and not use it in ranged fights. We got to be careful. If we're adjacent to enemies, we're getting more hits. That means we're going to be taking more damage, and that damage carries over to the boss fight too. We only have the 45 health. We can heal up to 10 health above our limit. Our starting health, we can heal up to like 55. But we take whatever we're at into the boss fight. So yeah, we got to be smart. When you reveal a tile, if we find a red X, we're all clear. We replace the tile with a clear token, okay? And that means we can move on to that, no problem. Then, where is it? The space can now be moved through. Distribute 1 momentum. So if we find a red X, we get a free momentum. Awesome. If we find the check mark, the 1 check mark among the 4, it says if you find that, Mystique strikes. The player that revealed it suffers 4 collateral damage and then gains 2 momentum. So it's like, we found her. Okay, but we get hurt because she doesn't like that. And then you replace it with a clear tile and you can move through it. But then, if at least 2 other face down yellow question marks are still on the board, it says Mystique hides. Again, then you replace one of the unrevealed ones with the check mark, mix them up face down and put them back. So if we find her too early, she's going to run and hide again. But if we find the other 3 and uncover all the red X's, then we didn't find her, great. And it says, and then we're good. Because if we find all 3 red and we cover them up, we only have to cover 3 with these tokens. So even if you find Mystique once and she hides amongst the others, you don't have to find her a second time, for example, because as long as you cover clear 3 politician spaces, we can move on, okay? And upon completion, if we do complete it and we fulfill the main objective, we'll distribute 4 health and 3 momentum, and then we flip the board to go to the boss fight. If we go for the perfect reward and we defeat all henchmen, we distribute an additional 7 health and 4 momentum. So you guys can help me as we're playing along and decide, do we try to beat all henchmen if we're doing well? Is it worth it? We can get more points to our perks later. We can maybe get more health, but we're going to lose health, obviously, trying to push through that. And if we don't set ourselves up well for the boss fight, we might not win it. So we'll kind of see how it's going and how Mystique's messing with us and her troopers and riot control captains and snipers are doing. So we'll kind of see how it goes, right? A lot of randomness, and we'll see kind of how it falls, basically. Yeah. I don't know what else to say, really. And I think we're good to go. That's all our specific setup instructions. Oh yeah, we're off the mat to start, okay? Oh yeah, I need to draw 4 cards, which I said earlier, but I never did. And I already have my 2 combat points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's take a look at the cards I got. we got what status effects? I can play this in the main phase, cost 2 combat points, and I can remove all status effect tokens from a chosen player. This reminds me of another thing I should mention about this co-op variant. Because these heroes were designed with competitive only in mind, and they're meant to be played against other players, hero versus hero, you will have abilities that maybe put tokens on and affect other players that have cards in their hand, or, you know, stop their roll attempts and all that stuff. But in this game, the enemies only roll once. They don't have combat points. So some of these effects might not do anything to the cooperative enemies in the game. And you always have the choice, whenever I go to play a token from any hero in the game onto an enemy, and it doesn't make sense, or it does make sense, doesn't matter, I can choose instead of placing the token to gain a momentum. Okay, so that's their kind of duct tape bubblegum fix to kind of fixing a lot of the heroes that, like, their abilities are useless in this mode. So that's why I say you can play with any hero you want. Doesn't matter if you read their effects and you're like, this doesn't even work against these guys, this is dumb. Don't worry, you can always use it to gain momentum, and then use that in other ways, you know, range, flipping Mystique tokens in this case, getting allies, ally abilities, lots of ways to spend momentum to kind of fix that issue. So this reminded me about the status effects to mention that. I don't know if it'll come up, we'll see, but double up, 1 CP. We can do this anytime to just draw 2 cards. Transference for 2 CP in the main phase. Transfer 1 status effect token from a chosen player to another chosen player. And then we have an upgrade for Barrage, which could turn our small straight into large straight. So basically, what's this do? Heal 1, gain a rage, deal 7 damage. So normally this would deal 5 damage on our board, but this can make it 7. This is like an upgrade, and if you haven't seen these in Dice Throne, it's really cool. You just get to cover this ability for the rest of the game, and it just improves the stats or maybe the dice, and sometimes even adds like an extra ability and stuff, which is kind of neat. Another way to like improve your abilities, or even like basically mitigate your rolls to give you more options so you don't fail as much, basically, is how I look at it. So those are our 4 cards to start with. Okay. And now, on the other side of this is a good way to show it. Here's the turn phases and how they're different than the old turn phases in a competitive game. They've added more steps, obviously, because we have to make the enemies do stuff. So first, you pass the start player token. Obviously, I'm playing solo. This doesn't matter. Movement. So we're now going to move. Okay, super simple. We're starting off the board. We just choose anywhere to move. So the captain might go. I don't think we can one-shot the captain. I don't see that happening. He has 14 health and 3 shield right now. But if we could defeat him before this fires off, we don't have to worry about this. The captain, interestingly, so I should read these abilities. The troopers, and they only get the ability if the enemy dice roll these symbols. The troopers get to multi-strike. We're playing true solo, so that doesn't really matter. They will only melee adjacent. But if we had like 3 players all beside this one enemy, he will multi-strike all 3 of them, okay? But in this case, it doesn't matter. A melee just means if as long as I'm not beside them, I'm not going to get attacked, which is great. And they deal 7 damage. And because it's defendable damage, whatever, I could do my defensive ability against it. The riot control henchmen need to roll these 3 symbols. If they do, and again, all these guys could activate if we have all these symbols available. Like, so I guess we would have to roll. Oh no, we can't. I don't think it's possible with the amount of dice we have. But let's say we rolled like this, like this. We would basically look at the left guys. The left guys like this, and we would check, can we resolve them? And that's what they do. Then we slide it over. Do they have these symbols? If so, we resolve this one, which is multi-strike melee. They gain a shield. Oh man. So if we leave these blue guys alive too long, they'll just keep gaining shields, and they also deal 7 damage, but only when you're adjacent to them, which will suck when you go beside them and they're fully shielded up, and you got to break through that shield. You're gonna be there for a while, I'm sure, unless you're attacking them at range. Momentum. They will be hitting you back for 7, which it sucks. The captain, we know, is right here, this pink guy right here. Okay. If we had his symbols, which we don't, so he wouldn't activate in this example here for, but his multi-strike is range. So he would hit every hero on the map, no matter where they are. They would inflict whatever this ability is, targeted, which when a player affected with this targeted token is attacked by an opponent, the attacker increases their damage by 2. Stack limit of 1, which means each person can only have one of those tokens on them. Then they deal 2 undefendable damage. That's annoying. But he'll only activate if he has his symbols matched here. And then the sniper is like an environmental effect, which we can't attack the sniper. He's just hiding behind the desk here. There's no way to fight him. It's just always on. But it will only happen if they roll at least 1 6. No matter how many 6s they roll. This will only fire off once because there's that there. Multi-strike is range. If the targeted opponent is not adjacent to a henchman, because they don't want to fire and accidentally hit their own guys. So if you're not adjacent to any of the henchmen, which these guys are henchmen, these guys are henchmen, these guys are henchmen, this is an unstoppable threat, not a henchman, okay? If you're not adjacent to henchmen, they will deal 3 undefendable damage. So he will snipe you if you're not in a crowd, basically. And then it's passive, it says, this enemy cannot be damaged in any way or inflicted with status effects. So it's just kind of like, and these are different based on each scenario. They're just kind of like a map effect that's always happening. So even if these guys roll bad or I'm manipulating their dice to stop these from firing off, there's a chance this could still fire off, but I could also try to stop that. And then there's this annoying stuff that will happen. So there's lots of ways the enemy can keep messing with us, even if we're stopping their rolls and stuff, you know? Okay, so movement. Obviously, I don't want to land on remove a status effect or gain a momentum. Maybe I want to gain the momentum. I don't know. I could heal up to 10 above, so maybe getting some health is not a bad idea. I want to kind of be beside a henchman in case the sniper fires. So there's like lots to think about before we even move. But I do want to get the henchman off the board just because he has range. And then if I eliminate the only guy with a range attack other than the sniper, then maybe I can take advantage against these guys never being adjacent to them. But then if I'm not adjacent to them, this guy's shooting me. So like, I don't know. I don't know what the best way is, but I just definitely don't want to be adjacent to like 2 enemies at once. That's like a no-no. I don't want to get hit like multiple times. So maybe we just start working on the captain maybe, just because he's only 1 unit and we can basically turn this ability off. That's what I'm thinking. There could be the strategy, too, of trying to get through the shield guys before they start gaining shields. But we don't have to defeat every henchman. We just got to gain some momentum and start flipping tokens over. So, yeah. I mean, we could get adjacent to this one and flip this token right away and be adjacent to this guy. That could be something. Yeah, lots to think about. Any thoughts? Feel free to drop them in the chat. I don't know. I could just go here to get a combat point, but I'm adjacent to 2 enemies and I don't really want to do that. So it's like, I kind of am only looking at spaces that are not. I'm thinking of going right here just to reveal this, get a momentum, and then start hacking on this guy. But even if I defeat this guy, it's not like I can get back to this guy. So I could maybe just go here, check this, maybe use a range attack to attack the captain. I don't know. So let's try. I do like all these big, like 5 health, 6 health. Oh man, that's juicy. Or maybe I attack this guy so that I separate this group here. So then after I defeat this guy, I could go here and only have to deal with this guy beside me. I don't know. Or maybe I go for this guy to open up the path to this guy. And that way I'm only beside 1 enemy. I just don't want to go beside 2 enemies at once. I think that's silly. But then again, they might not both activate. So I might not have to worry about that, right? Lots to think about. Lots to think about. But sure, let's go here. I don't care about these shield guys. What's the effect? Maybe I'll leave this one here just so I can take that effect away if I get shot. So I'm going to go here. And I'll gain this momentum right away. And I'll throw this in like a little discard pile. Okay. And the next, okay. Gain the benefits from all face-up tiles. 3, hero part 1. So heroes, and if you're playing multiplayer, it's all simultaneous. You can take your upkeep phase, your income phase, which we skip on the first turn, and then your main phase 1, and then you start rolling And then once everyone's done rolling, and then you lock in your attacks, and then you get a hero part 2, and then the enemies go, and then the enemies do their rolls and resolve effects, and then you do your crisis clock. Okay, that's how the game flows. All right, so obviously we don't have any income, upkeep phase, all that stuff doesn't really matter right now that I know of. I should also mention Wolverine's little token abilities here. So we have Alpha, which is a unique status effect, stack limit of 1, roll a die, and possibly skip the income phase. When a player is inflicted with this token as a result of an attack, they and their attacker each immediately roll 1 die. If the attacker's roll is less, the token is removed. A player afflicted with this token must skip their income phase and then remove this token. So this is a token that is like literally useless in this mode. This is a good example. So if I ever go to place this on an enemy, instead I would choose to gain a momentum instead. This token may not be transferred by any means, but can be removed, okay? And then I have rage tokens, which are positive status effects, stack limit of 3. I could add 3 damage or draw a card. A player with this token may spend 1 and discard 1 card to add 3 damage to an attack as an attack modifier. Or I can spend 3 of these tokens to draw a card. So these ones mainly I'm going to be focused on, hopefully build some of these up, draw cards, maybe discard some cards, do some extra damage. Maybe that'll help us speed through some of these big units and their shields. Also Wolverine, I should mention. I not only chose him because he's like the coolest X-Men character because he's Canadian and all that stuff, but I also chose him because he's a lower complexity. Just to kind of like learn the game, try it out, get back into it. So just so you know, there's like higher complexity heroes that may have way more cooler effects and way more tokens to mess around with, and they might be more interesting to you. So, but this X-Men box literally came with the one that I have here, and they'll have like a smaller box at retail, I'm sure. But this is like an 8-player hero box that I have. But at retail, it'll probably be a 4-player X-Men box, kind of like they did with Marvel, I think. I don't know if that's their plans, but I assume that's what they're going to do. So anytime you buy anything for this game, you'll just look at the complexity. Maybe start with like a lower complexity one if you're learning. But they do get more interesting the more complex they are. Like harder to play, which might appeal to you guys more. So you can always look up heroes difficulties and make your decisions based on that too. Okay. And our dice, I guess I should show our dice. Here's Wolverine's dice and the symbols that are on the dice and the odds of seeing them, okay? Just so you know. Just so you know. Okay, so in our main phase 1 here, I probably should just slap this down, yeah? And the other thing we can do in our main phase is we can toss cards to gain combat points. Actually, I don't know if I want to toss any cards like that. You know what I'll do? Let's just double up. Let's just double up. We'll pay 1 combat point to draw 2 cards. We can do that anytime, but let's just do it now. And we have a hand limit, I think, max of 6 in this game. That is checked at the end of your turn, I believe. But since we have an ability to toss cards to gain attack points, hopefully we're only discarding cards for that reason. But I guess we could also discard cards because of the crisis clock. So, okay, so we got a fastball special attack modifier. And this could gain us a rage token. We can play this during any roll phase. So our roll phase or the enemy's roll phase to... Oh no, I guess it's attack modifier. So it would only be during our roll phase if we're attacking them. To gain a rage, we receive 2 damage, but then we add 2 damage to our attack. So it's like us just running at them. And then we have same Z's, which costs 1. You can play during the roll phase. Change the value of any one of your dice to be identical to the value of another one of your dice. Okay. So that's what we have at our disposal. I don't know if I should toss any, but I do want to play this upgrade. But we would need more combat points. But we could maybe grab a combat point there. We'll get 1 each round. So yeah, maybe we just hold. Maybe we hold. Like, I know there's status effects, so like I'm thinking of keeping those to deal with them. Yeah, let's just hold, see what happens. Okay, so that's all of our stuff. Let's start rolling. Okay, what do we get here? Oops, that was a 6, I swear. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 3, and 6. Okay, now we have up to 2 reroll attempts. So right now, this 4 claws could just deal 5 damage, and if there's any 3 of a kinds, which there's not, we would be able to heal 2 from adamantium claws. I mean, if we get one more 6, we could do regenerate, which heals 1s and deals 3 undefendable damage, and we could remove a status effect from ourselves, but we don't have that. We could try to go for a small straight or a large straight even, re-rolling, you know, like leave 1, 2, 3 there and maybe roll and see if we get like 4 or 5 involved there. Maybe try to go for a small straight or large straight on barrage, which the small straight's heal 1, gain a rage token, then deal 5 damage. Our large straight is heal 2, gain a rage token, or inflict alpha. I would obviously just take the rage token in this case. Or unless I want momentum, I guess. Then deal 7 damage. But I'm kind of looking what's usable in more abilities, and like this one is usable in like this. So it's like, should I just reroll all these? This is where we're at. And again, I'm not the best player or anything. I don't have any of the other symbols, the adamantium symbols. Go for the small straight. Yeah, okay, that's what I'm thinking. Again, I played Dice Roll a bunch, but it's over a few years, so I'm not the best. Oh, we have severe threat down here too we could get. I just noticed, which is 7 damage and roll 3 dice. You add 1 damage for each claw you roll. And then on adamantium, you can inflict alpha. And on a 6, you can add, or on a mask, you can add 3 damage. So maybe I leave that 6 and we try to roll another 6. Or, oh, I don't have the money. I should have. I could, oh, I do have the money. I could do samesies and change this die to a 6, and then we have severe threat. But do I care that much about this enemy? Am I even going to defeat this enemy? Yeah, choices. I don't know if that's the best use of samesies. Maybe not the best use, but yeah, let's just go for small straight. Paul says this game feels like I'm solving an algebra problem. 1 isn't much. I know, but it's the card. Like, this could be something way more important later, right? Way more important. I don't know, but then I'm holding it. Yeah, let's just do it. I'll spend 1. I really want to get to this on my board faster, and we'll just make these a 6. So there are 2 6s. Let's fire off severe threat. We deal 7 damage to this guy that we're adjacent to, or I can spend a momentum to get range. Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to spend 1 momentum. We're going to get range against the captain. Okay. And this is going to let us deal 7 damage, and then we're going to roll 3 dice, whatever. And for every claw we roll, we can add an additional damage. And if we roll a mask, oh, we only rolled claws, which is, I guess, fine. So we added 3 more damage to that. So it's now 10 damage. And these guys don't defend themselves. The boss does, but the henchmen don't. So we're dealing 10 damage to this guy. 3 of it gets blocked by the shield. We'll get rid of that. And then we're dealing 7 more, right? So I'll take off a 6, drop this to a 1. He's down to 7 health left. Right. Did I do that right? So we got rid of half its health, basically. Which is great. Okay. Now what? Enemies, right? So enemy, I don't have any tokens on enemies. There's no upkeep for them. But if they were like poison and stuff, I guess that would all fire off then. Now we're going to do a henchman. Oh, sorry. We have our own main phase. So I could pitch cards to kind of make money. I don't think I need to. But I might in the next main phase. Yeah, I might wait to see what we draw. But yeah, I'll just leave it. Since I don't have any ways of manipulating their dice right now, I don't really need money to do that. I don't have the cards for it. So yeah, then we're going to roll the enemy dice. Okay. Whoops. And they got 1 orange symbol, another orange symbol. Oh, they got the exact roll that I kind of showed in my example. So I now have the chance to manipulate them. If I had a way to like force them to re-roll a die or change the result on their die, I could do that now to mess them up, but I don't. So the troopers are going to get to go. They have melee attack. I am not beside any troopers. They will not do anything, okay? If they all were acting, though, you would basically go from top to bottom, left to right, and resolve each enemy that way. So we don't care about them. The riot control guys, they get to go because they have 2 orange and a blue. But they only have melee. Oh, but I am adjacent to one of them. So they're going to gain a shield. Yeah, and it's only this one that I'm adjacent. I think I looked this up when I was playing last week, but if you're not in their range for the attack, they don't do anything. They just don't activate. So because these guys are melee only, this guy up here will not activate, not gain a shield. He's not doing anything. He's sleeping, okay? That's at least I looked up. That's what the designer said. I'm pretty sure. Like 99% on that one. But I had to look that up because I was wondering if like they still do other stuff. But they will not trigger this off if you're not in range of them. But this guy's going to hit me for 7. I am adjacent, so I can defend without having to spend momentum for a ranged defense. So I'm just going to roll 3 dice. I rolled all claws, a 1, 2, 2. Okay, so that will let me deal 1 basically undefendable damage back to them for each claw, which I got 3 claws. So I will hit this guy for 3, right to his health, actually, because the shields can't block it, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just going to hit, since it's red damage, it's just going right through, like true damage kind of thing. Right through the shields. But that means he's still hitting me for 7, which I will lose off here, going down to 38, right? So yeah, healing is what we should be looking into soon, I think. This guy's hit hard. Oh, we forgot to flip this token, right? Yeah, we forgot to flip this token when we finished moving. That was like the whole reason I moved there. Let's just fix that. So it is a red, which I think is good. So we just get rid of it and we replace it with this token. You find a red, place a tile there, and we distribute 1 momentum. So technically we have 1 more momentum. That's fine. Didn't change anything, I don't think. And yeah, that's it. That's it. So we can move here now too, if we need to. Yeah, I forgot resolving that. I forgot that. Okay, and then we took our damage. The enemies went. These guys won't go because they don't have a yellow. This guy won't go because we didn't roll a 6, basically. So that doesn't happen. And crisis clock. So now the captain's ability of roll 1 die per hero. We rolled a 4. And then it says gain a shield for each orange symbol rolled. Well, we didn't roll an orange symbol, so that this guy won't gain a shield. Not that bad. I don't know why I was panicking that I need to kill him first, because this is kind of useless. But I do want to kill him because he's got a range attack. So he can hit me anywhere on the board. I need to get rid of him. So now it's our turn for movement. And we're going to move. You know what? Yeah, I'm just going to move here and gain the momentum off this one. I don't need to remove a status effect, so I'll just take the momentum. Okay. I'm not adjacent to any token or anything to flip them. And then we're going to gain 1 combat point and draw 1 card in our income. Not this time. The chosen player prevents 6 incoming damage. Ooh. Ooh. But, you know what? I'm going to toss transference for 1 combat point. And just sit there. Okay. So we're going to target this guy. I'm against him, so I don't need to melee him. Should I care about these guys? Should I care about these guys? Maybe I'd take Nightcrawler, which I think you can buy these guys during the anytime during the main phase, right? Let's just double check in my giant rulebook here. Allies. Recruiting. Allies are special characters you can recruit for help when you recruit allies during either of your main phases. Nice, okay. Thought so. Yeah, let's just do it to show this how this works. I don't know if I really need him, but why not? Of course, we're going to take Nightcrawler because he's the coolest out of the group there. And I can afford him. For 1 momentum, which I spent, when I recruit him, I gain a shield. So now I have my own shield to block 3 damage. I'll put that right here. Okay. And then I have this ability now, once per round, during your main phase, I can spend 2 momentum to take an additional move on the board and then deal 2 collateral damage to an enemy within melee range. And then if I fire this off, at any time I can choose to exhaust this after spending the momentum to also gain a shield and then lose Nightcrawler. Okay. So we got a shield for 1 momentum basically for now. All right. So now let's start rolling, I guess. Hopefully we can get some kind of 7 damage attack to finish off the captain. Okay. We rolled 2 4s. We rolled a 1, 2, 3. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we're close to having Hunter, which is draw a card, deal 6 damage, roll 4 dice, gain 1 rage for every 6 we roll. But right now we do have a small straight. I really wish we upgraded that small straight, because if we did, we would be dealing 7 damage right now. But like a dummy, I'm holding this card in my hand still, and I probably should have played it already. But if... Yeah, let's just go for it. Second roll, a 5. No way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got large straight. We can heal 2. Going to 40. Gain a rage token. Hell yeah. Or inflict alpha. I'll just take the rage token. Then deal 7 damage. Perfect. 7 damage. So this guy's defeated. I cover him with this token. I gain 2 momentum, going to 3. And we just got rid of the captain, so none of these effects will ever fire off. No crisis, no captain ability. He's done. And technically, next move, we could go in there and get adjacent to that, or we could just spend 3 momentum during our main phase. I think it's our main phase. Yeah, 3 momentum during our main phase to reveal 1 mystery tile. So we have a main phase after we're done here, which we could do that. I don't know if I want to spend my momentum like that right now. I kind of want to keep some. But maybe we do. I don't know. Okay. You know what? I am going to pitch a card. Yeah. I'll pitch fastball special to gain 1 extra combat point. I'll spend all 3 to play barrage. Okay, we'll put that there. We regretted it before. We only have 2 cards in hand for now. But it's okay. All right. Should we reveal a tile? I think we probably should. We probably should reveal this tile, I think, because it's the only one we can't get adjacent to. There's like no way. I could reveal like this one, and I don't have to even go through these guys. But if it gets shuffled back into here, I don't know. Or do I just leave the momentum so that I have some? Yeah. I think we'll wait. I don't want to be at 0 momentum, just in case I really need it. Because we do have ways to spend it here. We have ways to make it range. Maybe I want it range on defense. Actually, I don't need it range on defense anymore. Because I can't block this guy's range attack, but this guy won't attack at range anymore. Oh yeah. I also forgot to reveal a new ally. War Machine. Once during the round, during your roll phase, offensive kicker. So if you're attacking, so this lets you do this on offensive roll. If you're attacking, roll 1 die. At half the value as damage rounded up. On a 5 or 6, you must exhaust, which is this ability here to add 3 more damage. That's cool. Oh, that's cool. Very offensive card. All right. So let's go with Yeah, we'll just leave it there. So enemies. So we are not adjacent to any of the melee guys, but that means we're also available for a sniper shot, and that's not fun. Thankfully, we didn't roll a 6. So we roll 2 orange and 2 blue. So these guys will not activate. These guys will, though, however. But since we're not adjacent to any of them, which is just these 2 guys here, we don't have to worry. They don't do anything. And we rolled no yellow for the sniper. So we dodged a bullet, literally. Literally dodged a bullet. We don't even have to spend any cards or anything. Which feels weird not having any cards that can mess with their dice right now, which usually I like to have for situations when we roll a yellow. But it's all good. So now we're going to go crisis phase, move it 1 per player. There's no symbol it moved over or to. You don't resolve the one it started on. So we're good there. All right, back to us. Let's gain our CP, draw another card. Vengeful. So it's an upgrade to our defensive ability to roll more dice for 2 CP. So I'll just hold that. I don't have that CP. I don't want to spend it right now, but I probably should. But I want to save some cards for we can toss for rage to get more offense rather than care about our defense right now. So, where do we want to go? Where do we want to go? I kind of want to move adjacent to this, but then I'm adjacent to 2 troopers, and I don't have any way to mess with their dice, and they're most likely going to fire off, right? So let's go. Let's just go adjacent to this guy. We're going to trade this in for a +2 attack token that we can use to buff or modify an attack, I think. That's how that works. So I gain that to use when I'm attacking. Okay. Or maybe it's better to go after this guy in the corner. Yeah, probably, right? Yeah. Take that back. Take that back. So let's not do that. Yeah, let's go in the corner. We'll take the 2 heals. Go into 42. Yeah. And we'll try to get through this guy. That way, if we move in against this, we won't be adjacent to 2 enemies, you know? At least that's what I'm thinking. Okay. So now let's roll. What do we get? I can't see it. Wait, where'd all the dice go? They're like stuck. Never seen that before. They're too chonky. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 5, 5. Almost that one. Oh, geez. Okay, I think we're going to try to make a straight of some kind. I think that's what we do. Oh, no. Because worst case, we have these 3 that could deal just 4 damage. We could toss a rage to add 3 more damage in a card. To deal for 7. I don't know. Yeah, sure. Let's just re-roll this 5. Into a 5. I don't think we're going to make a 4 out of it. Maybe I should roll both of these then to try to get a 4. If not, maybe we just get some more claws. Or I keep these 2. And then we just roll these 3 and maybe get healing factor or hunter going. These things just aren't used. They're only used in like 2 abilities. So it's kind of sucky saving these. So yeah, I'm just going to roll both of them. YOLO. Perfect. A little boring, but we got... Oh, we didn't get any 3 of a kinds though. A 1, 2 2s, and a 2 3s. But at least we can deal 6 damage. I'm not going to add extra because it won't kill him. So 3 gets blocked by a shield and 3 damage goes through. So taking this guy down to 9. Okay. Yep. All right. And next main phase. I don't want my defensive roll improved. Oh, I mean, that would be awesome, actually. Yeah, let's do it. How much do they hit for? 7? Ugh. I do have healing effects. Like, Yeah, I'm going to toss this not this time, even though it could prevent like 6 damage. I'm going to get 2 combat points out of that, and then I'm just going to spend them right away in my second main phase, just to improve my defensive ability. That could lead to more rage tokens or more damage back to the enemy that gets through shields, actually. I know this guy doesn't have shields left, but that could matter in the future more, I think. So we're like investing in our future, weakening ourselves now. Only 1 card is so weird. 1 card, no combat points. Feels bad, but that's how we're going to roll it. Okay, enemy time. Oh, of course, yeah. So the henchmen, or the troopers, do get to activate. So do the riot control, but again, we're not adjacent to any of those. This is the one we cared about. I have no way to manipulate the dice. So we are going to get hit for 7 damage. 3 of it gets blocked right now. 4 goes through. I know I should be rolling this and we do it at the same time, but this doesn't have any way to heal or anything. And I'm not going to kill him first. So I just take 4, going back down to 38, right? And then we get to roll 4 dice on defense because we are adjacent to him. I don't need to spend momentum to defend against a ranged attack or anything. I rolled 2 claws and 2 adamantium, which just does 2 damage back to him, putting him at 7 health. I did not roll a mask, so I don't gain any rage. Why not toss what status effect? The reason why... Oh, you're right. I keep thinking I'm going to get targeted and carry that into the boss fight, and I don't want to be being dealt extra damage when the boss is constantly hitting me, or the boss will deal effects as they always do. And this is a way just to clear a bunch of them at once and stay in the game if we're having trouble. So I'm like scared because of my previous playthroughs that this was super important. But the fact we got rid of the guy that puts a status effect on us and none of them do. I guess, does any of them do it from their abilities? Oh yeah. The riot control guys do, but this is all the way up here. I don't think we'll make it all the way around for them to do that. So I shouldn't be worried. Yes, I probably should keep the other one. You're probably right. You're probably right. Yes, I totally was keeping it to prevent this ability from getting on us and just leading to tons of damage, right? Yeah, that's probably the better call. Thank you for that. Nice question, hon. I do have built-in status effect clears. Oh, I do, but like, that's based on rolling that. That's based on dice luck. Okay. So we resolve this. I'm not adjacent to them. I think we're good there. Let's do crisis. I have to discard a card anyway. I have to discard a card because of the crisis clock. So it didn't matter what I kept or whatever. It's all the same. Yep, so it doesn't matter. I should have probably tossed that to add extra damage in to the fight using my token. I should have probably did that there, but I didn't look ahead far enough to care about the crisis clock. That's my bad. I'll take the punishment. All right. So back around to us. 1 combat point. Draw a card. Ooh, severe threat upgrade. I'll just hold that for now. Okay. Where do we want to go? We want to just keep fighting this guy, I think, right? Yeah, let's just fight this guy. Although, should I move here? If we can kill him, then I only have to worry about getting hit by this guy, but I'll go on this 5 health. I don't know. I'm kind of greedy. I love getting these effects every round, but they might be a trap. Oh yeah, I have ways of removing status effects on the board too. Yeah, let's get greedy. We're gonna go here, heal 5. We're at 43, right? Greedy. So let's roll. I might not even get an attack, and then I could get hit by 2 guys. That would be bad. I might have to pitch my card to add damage in. I better roll something here. I am being risky business. All right, we got 2, 4, 5, 5, 6. Yep, kind of sucky. I'm just gonna keep the 6 and roll all this business. All right, we got a second 6 and 2 2s and a 4. So we did get regenerate, which is heal 1, deal 3 undefendable damage, and you may remove anyone's status effect. But even if I toss my card, that only gets him down to 1. We need to kill him. We need to kill him. If only I had a way to get extra additional damage. But this is during my main phase, so I have to wait till after the attack. But that is a way I could finish him. And it would allow me to move away. Oh. Yeah. Let's use Nightcrawler to blip to a different location, maybe. Okay, so we could keep that and not push our luck anymore. Actually, I'm going to re-roll this one, because we could get severe threat, right? Yeah, I don't need this. Let's re-roll it. One last roll. Oh, we rolled the same number. That sucks. Okay. So let's do regenerate. We heal 1. I am going to toss... Oh, this is rough. Yeah, I will toss this card with my rage token to add 3 damage. So that hits him for 6. Yep. And then during our main phase, I'm going to spend 2 momentum to take an additional move. It doesn't, I have to stay here because I want to hit this guy, right? But I want to get away from this guy. So I'll just move here. I hit this guy for 2 undefendable damage. We defeat him, which gets us 2 momentum. So we basically get it right back, which is sick. And I could exhaust this guy right now because I fired off this ability and it's a plus exhaust. I could combo this ability with the spend to get another shield, but I think I'll leave it. And leave that for us a nice way to clean up things and move out of harm's way. It's very thematic. I like that. Oh, but the sniper thing. Yeah, the sniper thing. What's better then? I could just stay here, but then I risk getting hit by this guy. The sniper's only 3 damage. These guys could deal 7. So yeah, I don't care. I'm staying there. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Enemy time. Okay. Well, those enemies do get to activate. But I'm not adjacent to any, so they don't. So I would have got hit for 7. The sniper didn't even get resolved. That's great. Perfect. Crisis clock. Nothing happens. Our turn. We get 1 combat point. Draw a card. I'm totally playing Wolverine bad because I have no cards in hand. That's kind of like, and I'm not even tossing that many. But I only had 1 rage token so far. Oh, here we go. Tip it. I can use this against the enemy to like get them out of a 6, for example. So this could be played offensively or defensively. I like to keep these for defense because it can save me a ton of damage. Unless I use it to like kill an enemy or get to like my ultimate or something, or out of a really bad roll. But this is an amazing card to have. I need to keep that card. Okay. Yeah, I need more card draw, which I could only really do through the range tokens. Okay, so let's move. Yeah, I guess we'll just move up here, and then we'll check this token. Oh no, it's Mystique. So right now, Mystique hits us for 4 damage. We can't even prevent it. Bam. Okay, Mystique strikes. I gain 2 momentum from that, though. Nice. We're at 5 momentum. That's awesome. Okay. And now, because I have at least 2 others not revealed, I take this one. I replace one of the unrevealed tiles with this one. Okay, so let's get rid of this one. I mix them together. This is weird. I gotta like, I don't know how to do it myself without knowing. I mean, I don't know now which one it is because I'm not really paying attention, but 50-50. All right, these 2, right? Boom. Okay, so Mystique's back under here. And now we cover this guy with one of these. So now we have 2 covered. We need 1 more to succeed at this side of the map to do our basic goal and move on. But again, if we could defeat all henchmen, we could do our perfect goal and then move on, which is kind of neat. Okay, let's roll. 5, 5, 1, 2, 3. I feel like we've been here before. I'm feeling some deja vu. So let's just try to get our straight going. Let's just roll one of these 5s away. Because, I mean, this is the suckiest symbol, right? It's only on, like, 2 abilities. We got a 1. I'm going to re-roll both these. Got a 4 and a 6. Well, at least we got a small straight, I guess. Right? Nothing else out of this, I don't think. No. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So small straight, which we heal for 1. Gain a rage token. This is exactly what I want. I love these rage tokens. All right. And then we deal 7 damage. So 3 gets blocked. We break the shield. 4 gets through. This guy's down to 8 health. Okay. Enemies. Still not rolling a 6. That's nice. So we roll just as bad with their dice, I guess. But we are adjacent to these guys. Although I could totally prevent the attack by just increasing or decreasing this die, for example, to like a 4, right? Do I care that much? I don't know if I care that much. I think I keep that. I'm just going to take 7. But we do get to roll our defensive ability. 4 dice. And we roll 3 claws, no masks. So those 3 claws will actually deal some damage back to this guy. Putting him down to 5. Okay. I take 7. So what am I going down to? Whoa, brain fart. 34, right? Why am I going that way? 34. Okay. These guys I'm not adjacent to. All right. Crisis clock. Troopers deal 2 collateral damage to all heroes. Bah! Down to 32. Okay. We get a combat point. Draw a card. Bye-bye. Remove a status effect token from a chosen player. Okay. A lot of status effect token stuff. Okay. Movement. Movement. Oh, I did that backwards. I should have moved first, then draw my cards. It's 2 per alive, dude. Oh, it is. You're right. Once per undefeated guy. So how many we have? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I lose 4 more, right? 28. Yeah, thank you for that reminder. Yeah, once per undefeated, deal 2 collateral damage to all heroes. Yes. Yeah, it doesn't matter where they are, I don't think. So we'll just do that. I could just work on this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna take this token. Okay. In my main phase, I'm gonna spend 3. And we are going to check this token out. Nice. And that will gain us 1 momentum. Okay, we've officially have our goal kind of met. The only thing we have to do is move out the exit on our next movement phase. But we don't have to. We can sit here fighting henchmen, but I don't want to be here all day. But I do want to get to the boss fights. It's the more fun side, but not really. Actually, I just want to be able to show it on stream, I should say. I like the henchman side kind of better, at least in this mission. All right. Let's do the best part. Rolling dice. So we got 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, interesting. So we have a small straight right now. I think we're just trying to get a 2 on this die. Whoops. Just trying to get a 2 on this die. A 1. I mean, I really don't care. We have a small straight, so a 6. Well, whatever. I don't think that changes anything that I see. Can't really tip it to a 2 or anything. Whatever. I did what I did. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6. Heal 1. Gain a rage. And then deal 7 damage. We only need 5 on this guy, so we'll just do it. That defeats him. We cover him up. We get 2 more momentum. Beautiful. Main phase, we're good. Enemies. Okay, I thought I was going to get sniped there for sure, but not this time. So we rolled 3 blues and an orange, which literally doesn't trigger these guys, doesn't trigger these guys, doesn't trigger this guy. We're fine. Crisis clock. Captain is no longer here, so we do not have to worry about that. Next time we will lose a CP, though. So I probably should just take off, right? So it starts with movement. So, I mean, I don't have a lot of cards, but our health is a little sketchy, too. Yeah. I'm not going to go for the perfect. Let's just get out of here. Let's move to the exit. So this will, upon completion, if you fulfill the main objective, distribute 4 heal. So we're going to 33, right? 33. What else do you do? 3 momentum. So we're going to 8 momentum. Holy crap. Should probably be looking at buying some of these guys just to get their effects firing off and get rid of this guy. Maybe I switch to like War Machine or something. Just for extra damage on the boss. Okay, so now we now are going to the side 2. So we're going to perform steps through 11. Or 7 through 11. We're going to put our pawn off to the side. We're going to point the crisis clock straight up. So let's just clean up what's on the board. Let's clean up what is on the board, because we got to flip it over. And these will just go to a discard pile. I'll get rid of all these shields. Okay, shield's gone. I'm going to take off the clock. And get so I get all the tokens? Yeah. Okay. So then you literally just flip it over, and boom. We're now going to the boss fight. So we're going to side 2, UN Catastrophe, boss fight, difficulty 2, duration 60 to 80 minutes. Boss fight, Professor X reads Mystique's mind, and you rush to the bomb. Mystique refuses to let you win. There's no way I'll let you stop our plan. So there's the boss setup to set the health. The oppression tokens, I was like, what the hell is that? But basically, if you increase the difficulty of the game, there'll be some kind of oppression tokens you'll gain, which will add, basically increase the difficulty as you go forward. Then there's a bunch of crisis abilities, which happen based on the crisis clock. Works the same way as the other side, where we'll fire off special abilities. So this is how it makes it different for every villain you play against or whatever. Okay, so we'll magnetize that on there. We'll roll a die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're starting here based on a random die roll of 5. Okay. So Mystique's already on the board. There is one other thing to point out here. Is so Mystique says humans will never accept us. We must scare them into submission. Or Mystique. But if you notice, we're going to place out a bunch of these random tokens, but there are some that are numbered. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these spaces are numbered because they're like crisis spaces. So anytime we roll the red dice for the enemy, based on the number on that die, we're going to be placing face down crisis tokens underneath. And if we're standing on a space with face down crisis tokens, it will add a crisis effect to the boss's effect they get by rolling. And just like on the other side, you just apply, basically not exactly the other side, but you go left to right, and you only apply the first one that it satisfies. So if this ability fires off, we don't keep checking the next ones. We just fire off the first one in order, and we keep going, right? And they always have a defensive ability, not like the henchman. The boss will always have a defensive ability that hits back. This one is ranged. It removes one negative status effect from yourself, which this is a player. So anytime on these abilities on the clock or on here, it says you get a shield or you heal a health or you do this. The you, because it's on Mystique's board, is Mystique because she is a player. So just like here, anything I do that says you is me because I'm the player. Anything on their board, picture it as like you playing against another dice roll player. Anything on their board that says you is referring to Mystique, okay? That's something that's like, it's in the rules, but it's like not that clear, I think. I had to like look it up. It was a little messy the way it's worded. So if I put negative status tokens on Mystique, she has a way to remove them anytime she can defend, and she can always defend because her defense is ranged. So no matter where I am on the board, which obviously there's 3 range spots and 6 adjacent spots, she will still defend against anything I do. So putting negative status effects on Mystique is like not the plan, right? Unless you're putting a ton of them, she can only remove one at a time. But so let's put these out randomly on all the spaces with that symbol. And then we flip them. It's part of setup. So we got card draw, we got momentum, we got more status effect removal, we got some extra attack. Okay, and you don't refresh your health or anything, you just flip it over and keep playing. We're off the board. And because this doesn't have an entrance or an exit, you literally, when you first move, you can just plop yourself wherever. Also, another thing I didn't mention, the first side, once you've achieved the goal completely and we left at the exit, you then, whenever you achieve a goal, you just end it at the end of at the current phase you're in. Once you reach the end of that phase, you end it and then move to the second side. We don't have to keep going through the motions all the way till the end. So because we did it in the move phase, we got out, we just stopped there. We don't have to keep getting attacked or anything. Yeah. I kind of, okay, Mike, let me get this straight. So Mike makes a comment, you don't want to be here all day. Are you okay, Rob? Blink twice if you're in trouble. So if we play this again on stream, I won't have to be teaching it. We'll kind of just play as long as we want, whatever, and have fun. But today I'm just trying to show off different aspects of it. So that's why I was like, let's just get to the boss fight to show it off, right? Because I assume people don't want to be here forever if they just want to see how it works. And then the next playthroughs, we'll just dilly-dally, take our time. But at least we don't have to go through teaching and stuff like that either. So that's just kind of how I'm treating today. It's just like maybe a lot of people's first, a lot of people on the channel who watch this video, this might be your first experience seeing Dice Throne and or Dice Throne missions. So I figure I'll just try to be a little quicker, but obviously when you're teaching and explaining strategy and answering Mike in the chat, you know, it takes extra time. But that's okay. That's why we're here. Long form content, an alternative. Okay. And I'm just like spilling rules out as I remember them too, like just trying to do it as we play. All right. What else? We start a new round. Oh yeah, let's go back to setup. Just make sure we do everything because I will miss stuff, I'm sure. So we did the crisis clock. Now we're going to perform boss setup. We skipped boss setup by accident and we accidentally boost tiles, but it's fine. So the boss setup is they're going to start with 30 health. The cool part, you don't have to get out a bunch of those tokens. They at least gave pre-made dials for the boss. And if they have a lot of health, there's another side with a 1 on there, which is kind of scary. So this boss is going to start with 20 health, plus 20 per hero, plus 3 if you're playing on the higher difficulty per oppression token you've gained on each hero. So we're just starting at 40, which I already said it. So Mystique has 40 health. Okay. And we're at 33. Okay. The next ability that will get hit here, just so we know, is Seal Wounds. which is Steel Wound says roll 1 die per hero, heal 3 for each orange you roll. So we're just playing solo, she's only going to roll 1 die, but 3 sides of that die are orange, so it's like 50-50 chance she's going to be healing herself when the crisis clock hits. And the next one, Treachery, is inflict dominance on all heroes, then deal 10 collateral damage among all heroes, divided in any way desired by the start player. I do not know what that effect is. Dominance. I guess I have it here. We can look it up digitally so we can all read it together, actually. So dominance on the left side there, the orange token with the little puppet on a string. It's a unique status effect. So when a player with this token attacks, they must roll a die. On a 1, they must choose a teammate to target instead. If they cannot, they must discard 1 card randomly, then remove this token. On a 2 to 5, do nothing. On a 6, remove the token. Nice, Han, nice. All right. That's kind of cool, actually. So I did play this before, but I rolled like a 1 or something and was up here. So I never really got around to hitting this effect when I played before. So this will be my first time if we hit that. And I'm sure we will. So that sucks. We're almost at 50 likes. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that big time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. What are we doing? So moving is first. Where do we want to land here? Oh yeah, there was something else I forgot to explain with the crisis stuff. If I move on to a space that has face down crisis tokens under it, because we, for example, rolled like 2 3s on the enemy turn, they put 2 of these tokens underneath face down. If we were to land here, we'd resolve the one on top right away, but the other ones we place on our health meter, dial, whatever, or near it. And the next time we're attacked, we get hit with the critical ability off the enemy based on which attack they do. And then we resolve all these tokens, we flip them face up and resolve them. So that's kind of how that works. So it's risky to go there. And while you're on the space, if one gets placed under you, you also get hit critical. So it's like, it's risky. So we know that these spots could become critical spots out of our control, kind of. But we have lots of momentum. I feel like I just play at range distance right now. She could hit us range, melee, or range. If she rolls the melee, is the one that fires off, we wouldn't even get hit by it. I don't know if that's a good way to play or not, but I don't need to remove a status effect or gain momentum, so I'm not going to go there. You know what? I could use some cards, though. So I'm going to start here on this spot and just draw a card. Feral. Oh, that's cool art. Roll 1. Roll 1 die. On a 6, draw a card and gain 2 rage. Any other outcome, draw a card. Free. I feel like I should just do that. Now we're going to draw and gain a combat point. Better defense, also 0. The chosen player may perform an additional roll attempt of up to 5 dice during their defensive roll phase. Cool. Okay. Yeah, let's do Feral for free during our main phase. We're going to roll a die. And we got a 3. So that just draws us a card. Womp womp. We got Intimidate. It's also free. Choose an opponent afflicted with alpha. Or sorry, a chosen opponent afflicted with alpha must draw a card or take 4 damage. Well, I don't have anyone that's going to be afflicted with that because I'm probably never going to do that, but I could just toss this for a CP right now, or I could save it to toss with rage tokens, which I'll probably do just for extra damage. I think that's the way I'm going to treat that card right now. Yeah, I didn't expect to roll a 6 on that. But otherwise, just dead card in hand, might as well just go through it, right? All right, so first we're going to roll our dice. Even though we're not adjacent to her, we don't have to spend a momentum right now. We might not need it to be a range attack if it's just like some kind of heal thing or gaining tokens, right? So you don't choose whether you want to do ranged right now. You choose once you lock in your ability or whatever. So we got 3 1s, a 4, and a 6. I mean, 3 of a kind does heal 2 damage if we just keep these 1s and just try to roll these for some more claws. We could do some more damage. I have extra damage here I could use, plus extra damage here I could use. I could smack her so bad. But I also could just keep the 6 and roll all these and see what happens. No, let's just go for the common stuff. Let's just keep it basic for now. Of course, I roll a 4 and a 6. What the? Let's just do it again. That's fine. Not exciting, but okay. There we go. 2 claws. That's what we needed. And I actually roll a 4 of a kind, but I know the upgrade to this actually adds extra options. But we have the 3 of a kind we need. So this is going to deal 6 damage. She has a defense ability to remove 1 negative status effect token, but I'm not applying one to her. So what we're going to do right now, since we only have 1 enemy to attack, I don't need to save this stuff anymore. So we're going to add 2 damage. So this is going to be 6. Oh yeah, we get to heal 2. 6, 7, 8. I'm going to toss a rage and a card. 9, 10, 11. Toss another one. 12, 13, 14 damage. All right. So we're going down to 26, right? Okay, this dial's like sticky. 26. Seems good. Seems good. We're saving up our anger to deal with Mystique, and there it is. All right. Mystique's roll, or I guess we have another main phase, but I don't think I want to do anything. Oh, I could do the additional move. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold up. Yeah. Like, we have so much momentum. Oh, yeah, I had to spend a momentum to make it range. Sorry, I was saving that for after we locked in, but I got excited. So I spent a momentum to be able to attack her at range because I'm not adjacent. Sorry, I was going to do it. I talked about it, but then just forgot. So I spent 1 for that. I'm down to 7. I will spend the 2 more. Go down to 5. I will do an additional move. Let's go right here to number 3. And that'll get us 2 cards. We drew a cover. Oh, I wanted to show these. This is the real reason I play Wolverine. When I saw that they used this scene and this art on these cards, these cards actually are used when I discard them, spending rage tokens. They give you extra abilities, which is the coolest thing ever. There's a whole bunch of them in the deck. I forgot to mention that. I'm glad we got to see it because I forgot. I wanted to show this off. I think it's hilarious. It's so good. So good. Straight meme. I love it. Yeah, so that's 1. And the next card we draw is Getting Paid. Okay. So Nightcrawler. We're going to do this right now. So we spent 2. We're going to take additional move we moved. Then we deal 2 collateral damage to an enemy within melee. So she gets hit for 2 more. And doesn't get to defend against this. Not that it matters. I'm going to exhaust him right now, though. And we're just going to get rid of him because we fired this off. We can now do this and just gain a shield. I feel like we're going to get hurt. So I just discard Nightcrawler. Is done. Okay. I now should get one of these guys going. Maybe War Machine. Which I can do right now, actually, because we're still in the main phase. 1, 2, 3. So we got War Machine. So once per round during our roll phase, we can basically add a modifier to it by rolling a die. And if we get a 5 or 6, we'll add 3 more damage and get rid of War Machine. I wonder what picture Wolverine was looking at. Depends which forum you see that picture posted in, or which social media platform you see that picture posted on. It's definitely not the rule book, because this is too big to fit in that frame. That's for sure not that. That I know. But all right, anyways, okay. So we're done our main phase. I think, I mean, I might as well get paid. No, I don't need to get paid. I have more than enough money. Yeah, I'll leave this for maybe extra cards or something. Yeah, I don't need it right now. Okay. So enemy. Yeah, I know what it is in the cartoon. I remember that scene when I was a kid, or a teenager, I guess, or whenever I watched it. But yeah, I definitely know that. We know he's got a thing for Jean Grey. We know this. Okay, so I rolled. Let's check it out here. I don't care about the numbers, just the symbols. So we did not fire off this ability. Great, that's perfect. Slide it over. We didn't fire off this ability. That's great. Oh yeah, do I want to tip something? Yeah, I probably do, right? Can I get out of being attacked at all? If I tip... No. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Because if I tip out of this... Oh, no, I still would get hit by this. If I tip this into a 4, I would fire off this. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about playing dice mitigation on it. So we'll just get hit by Morphing Claws. It is her weakest attack, I think. I think it goes, this is the hardest, which makes sense as a 6 involved, and it's harder to fire off. That it goes down to a weaker attack. I want the weaker one to go off if any of them are going to fire off. Yes, I am ancient. This is correct. Back in my day. Okay. So there's a multi-strike at range. Doesn't matter, I'm right next to her. 4 undefendable damage, so the shield doesn't help me at all. I go down to 31. Perfect. Crisis Clock. Crisis Clock. We go here. She's going to roll a die. Oh, I'm actually adjacent. Hold on. I'm adjacent. Oh, it's undefendable. Never mind. Undefendable. So we're going to do Seal Wounds. Roll a die. We get a 5. So it is not an orange. So she is not healing for 3. Now it's back to us. Movement. Oh, I forgot these. 3 and a 2. I forgot. We can fix it. So this goes down underneath number 3. I'm actually going to get hit by this critical. Because that would have came underneath me. And then it would apply this. And then number 2, right? Number 2's here. So I don't collect that right away. It actually happens during her attack. And because I'm standing on it, they would actually inflict 2 bleed against me. So we grab 2 bleeds. And this is where the status effect cards that I threw away earlier, where I'm panicking like I wish I kept them. But let's check what bleed does. Well, I guess I could bring it up digitally. Bleed, negative status effect. A player afflicted with this token must roll 1 die during their upkeep phase. On a 1 to 4, they are dealt 1 damage. On a 5 to 6, remove the token, stack limit of 2. Okay. So that hit me. So now in our movement, I probably want to get off that thing. I mean, I could stay on it and collect it. But I think what we're going to do... we're going to go up here and remove a status effect. Let's do that. I'll remove one of them. Okay. Okay, remove a status effect. Upkeep phase, I will get 1 and 1. And then because of this, we roll a die. And we rolled a 1. So we're going to hit it with 2. No, 1 undefendable damage. Boom. Right, yep. Okay. And it stays there, unfortunately. Okay. So now we're going to do our... Oh, actually, check my main phase. Oh yeah, we got another one of these cards. Frenzy. If this card is discarded as a result of spending rage, gain another rage. So we have two cards that we kind of want to pitch with rage tokens. Of course, we drew them after I used all our rage tokens. So I'm feeling like raging. But yeah. Okay. Maybe we can gain some range. We got 6, 4, or 6, 5, 1, 2, 2. 6, 6, 1, 1, 2. We do have regenerate here. It's not really what I'm looking for. YOLO. 4, 5, 5, 6. What the heck? Is this anything? Oh, we got healing factor if we want it. 4 heals, gain a rage, draw a card. It's not the offensive powerhouse ability I'm looking for, but I desperately want some rage tokens. Or I could tip it. I could tip it to turn one of these to a 6, but I don't. That doesn't get us here. That definitely doesn't get us here. Oh, I forgot we might have had severe threat there. I'm an idiot. I probably should have kept that. Yeah. Casey, I just realized. I knew when I look up at the chat, somebody be yelling at me. Thank you, Casey. I forgot about this one. I didn't even look at it. I'm an idiot. I looked at this one and thought that was the best I could do. It's fine. Yeah, let's just go with healing factor. Unfortunately, I did what I did. Let's deal with it. Gain a rage token, because I think they're fun. Okay. Draw a card. So now we have like 6 cards in hand. Vegas, baby. Okay. I don't need to make this a range attack or anything because it's not dealing any damage. Yeah, let's just toss Vegas, baby, roll. We rolled a 2. That gets us 1 combat point. And that's... I guess I could spend 2 to get rid of the status effect. I don't know if that's like the worst status. No. I'm keeping that. I'm going to save it if we get hit with the dominance thing, right? That's the better token remove, not this. I think. All right. So unfortunately, we didn't damage her at all. We suck. So we're done our main phase. Play getting paid. Did I do it? No, I'm going to save it. I don't need the combat points. And I have abilities that let me toss cards. And if the game makes me discard a card, I could just toss that instead and keep some of these better cards I want. I don't know. I don't need the combat points, so right now, and I'm not at my hand limit. Yeah, I don't know. That's just my theory. That's my reasoning, I guess. Oh no, we rolled a 6, a 5, a 2, and a 2. So the big ability doesn't fire off, thankfully. Oh no, it does. It does. Sorry, we do. We have all 3. Do we tip it? I think we tip it, right? Yes. I'm going to tip it. I'm going to tip it. Let's do this. I'm going to spend 1 CP. Increase or decrease the any die by the value of 1. I think I can turn this 5 into a 6. And now this doesn't fire off. This doesn't fire off. And this doesn't fire off. But now I have to put on a 2 and a 6. I got to put more of these tokens, right? And we're not underneath any of them, so we're fine. take that. That's why I hold cards like Tippet for defense for like the whole game, which seems lame, but sometimes it can avoid me from getting smashed for 10 damage and her gaining an evasive token, which could lead to her, I think, avoiding my whole attack or something. Oh, they got to roll a die, and they could like, oh no. Henchmen and bosses will spend evasive tokens to prevent a source dealing 4+ damage or to prevent lethal. I don't need her avoiding like a whole attack. That's 4 or more damage. That would suck. So yeah. All right, Crisis Clock. Inflict Dominance. Okay. Then deal 10 collateral damage among heroes. Boom. I'm down to 24. Just like that. Okay, and then the dominance is when a player with this token attacks, they must roll a die. On a 1, I must choose a teammate to target instead. If they cannot, which in my case I have no teammates, I would discard... Oh, I forgot this. Oh, I didn't attack. Yeah. I would discard 1 card randomly and then remove the token. Okay. So only when I'm attacking, I got to remember this. I got to remember this. And then this happens. I got to move first. Let's move. Like, I want to get greedy and go here, but then I could get hit by a critical. So I will just stay where I am. Yeah, I'll stay where I am. Then we gain 1, draw a card. Get that out of here. Remove a status effect token from a chosen player. Are you serious? I just drew that. I'll do this one though here. So I roll a die. I got a 3. So on a 1 to 4, I'm dealt damage. I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding all over the place here. Okay. And then this, yeah, I'm gonna remove this. So for 1 CP, spending get that out of here. We'll get rid of a status effect token. Technically, upkeep comes before income. Oh yeah, you're right. I don't think it changes that, but yeah, you're right. There is a more strict order to it. You know why I just don't care? Is because in this game, they're kind of like, everyone just does it all at the same time. I know there is an order to it still, but it's like all part of the same phase and like players just do it, whatever. So like, I don't care. But yes, I am supposed to follow this order. You are correct. You are correct. I don't think it changed anything there, but yes. I am playing, I got bad habits definitely going here. Definitely bad habits. Okay. Next is, where are we at? What are we doing now? This happened in upkeep. We drew, now we roll? I think so. Try to get a juicy attack here, please. Okay. I have 3 4s, a 5, and a 3. What the heck? What do I do with this? Roll it all again, I think? Try for some kind of straight business? What do I do here? I have... Yeah, that's sucky. I think I just want to roll it all. Oh, just in case you get the instant one that clears statuses. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because if I draw first, then I use it. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to roll them all again. I don't know. Okay, 6, 6, 5, 2, 2. So now we have regenerate, but it's like not what I want. But I'll roll this and maybe we can get severe threat. That anything better? No. Yeah, we have like no dice mitigation stuff. I think it's just regenerate, right? That's all we got. Okay, so we'll heal 1. And then deal 3 undefendable damage. Oh, and I may remove 1 status token from myself. Yes, please. Let's... So we can add to this. So let's use War Machine and do our offensive kicker, right? If you're attacking, roll 1 die. Oh yeah, it has to be range. So I gotta spend my momentum to make it range. I rolled a 6. If you're attacking, roll a die. Add half the value as damage, rounded up. So we're now hitting for 6 undefendable. On a 5 or 6, I must exhaust him. And when I do exhaust him, I'll add 3 more damage. So we're actually hitting for 9 undefendable. And I should have replaced War Machine a long time ago. I just realized. With Archangel, who you need to have these symbols to gain flight, deal 6 damage. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to replace the ally. I always do that. I always forget until I look to get a new one. And then I'm like, oh yeah, whoops, I should have 3 there, always. So War Machine's gone. He flew in, basically shot 100 rockets at Mystique, and we hit Mystique for 9, undefendable. So that will bring her down to 15, right? If I can turn this sticky dial. Boom. And because it's undefendable, we won't deal with this, but we don't have any tokens on her anyway. Oh yeah, I can toss this too, sorry. I don't need to add more. I forgot I have a rage token. So which one should we do here? I'm going to do this one, the Frenzy. I'll discard this. So we add 3 more damage. Taking her down to 12. And then I gain a new rage back. Yeah, almost forgot the rage. I'm holding these cards like literally for that moment. Yeah, a lot going on. It's fun though. Definitely like it. So I have no ally right now, but I don't have much momentum. So now she's gonna go after me. Okay, so we got 4, 4, 1, 6. Oh no. Yep, she's gonna do her worst attack. I don't have any way of stopping it. Multi-strike, range, gain evasive. So she gains evasive, which is henchmen and bosses will spend evasive tokens necessary to prevent sources of 4+ damage or preventing lethal damage. So I got to remove that somehow, which I have right here, because I don't need her eating a whole attack. All right. So then she's going to hit for 10 damage, but it's defendable. I will spend this so I can defend against it. So I can defend range. So let's roll 4 dice so we can do our Revengeful level 2. We rolled 1, 2, 3, 5. So that's 3 damage, undefendable back to her. So she goes down to 9. Okay. And she's hitting us for 10, we'll block 3. And we take 7. So we're going down to 17, right? Damn. Damn. Okay. We need to get some momentum. Crisis clock. She's going to roll 1 die. And she rolls a 2. So she'll heal for 3. Come on, man. Come on, man. All right. You can do both since Frenzy gives you another one. Yeah, I could have added it in. You're right. You were right. I thought about it doing it, but then I was like, I'll just wait. It's fine. It's not like it's going to kill her. But I probably should have. Yeah, I probably should have. Yeah, because these are like anytime actions, so you can just like do them whenever and keep chaining them and stuff, which is super neat. Okay, our turn. So let's try to do it in order, right? Let's move. And what we need momentum though. I'm gonna go up here and gain 3 momentum. We could buy Archangel, but I think I want to save this for range attack and defense. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, our goal is obviously to reduce her to 0 health, but on completion you win, and Mystique will be captured and the bomb defused. So that's our objectives, which aren't very complicated on this side. Okay. So we moved. Upkeep happens. We don't have any more stupid effects. Then we will income phase. Adamantium Claws 2. Oh yeah, look, 3 of a kind, heal 3 now. Alternatively, on 4 of a kind, you can heal 4. Free to upgrade this one. It doesn't give us more damage, which is kind of annoying. Only more heal. Which, I mean, that might help us win the race, is by not going down as quickly. Okay. I will spend 2 points to remove this evasive using bye-bye. I'm going to place this down. That is that. Probably should have bought an ally, but so we got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. What do we do here? What do we do here? I would love to roll this to try to get a 6. Or I try to roll this to get it to be a 4. But if I just need dice mitigation cards here, I probably should roll more than that. Man, this is junk. Yeah, let's roll this. We got a 5. Oh, it's so crap. Crap. I'm like honestly debating just rolling all 3 of these so we can get something going. Or I keep pushing with this, or I just roll all of this, keep the 6. God. You know what? I'm gonna roll both of these. Oh man, I just destroyed my allies. Okay. Sorry guys. I just destroyed you. Okay. A 2 and a 4. That's a weak sauce. That's a weak sauce. 2, 3, 4, 6. No, that's not a straight of any kind. Yeah. Okay, so I guess we're just doing this. Dealing 4 damage. I'll toss a rage in there. I have to spend a momentum to make it range. I'll discard this card. I get to roll 2 dice. On a 6, I return that card to my hand. I did not get a 6. I got a 2 and a 5. Okay, so we're adding 3 to it. So we're hitting for 7. She gets to defend. She removes a negative status effect from herself. She doesn't have any. So 7, we're taking her down to 5. Oh yeah, do we have 3 of a kind? No, we didn't, right? No, no. Okay. No heals, no heals. All right. Main phase, do we want an ally? No, we can't afford. Not the one. I would want this guy. Yeah, I do like missions. I do like missions. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I prefer competitive dice throne though, but this is, I like this better than adventures. I definitely like this better than adventures. Okay. So she's gonna attack us. She rolled a 1-1-6-6. Is that nothing? Is that nothing? Not that. It's not that. And it's not that. Literally, she misses. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Okay, we got lucky there. Okay, Crisis Clock. She rolls 1 die per hero, and she's going to gain a shield for every orange. Well, we rolled a 3, so she gets a shield. All right, move. Let's get risky. We're going to go here. Immediately, we will collect a +1 damage token, and then we're going to take these and place them on our health dial, even though they don't really fit on our health dial. Whatever, we'll put them here. Okay, so we're here. Okay. Now upkeep, nothing. Gain a combat point, draw a card. Oh, where have you been all my game? Power level 9 2. Oh yeah, look, adds an extra ability. 3 6s, we could gain 2 rage, yeah. So that could have been awesome there a long time ago, but we'll just hold it, I guess. I think it's fine. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. We don't have any rage tokens to toss cards anyway. Sure. Let's spend the 2 combat points. We'll throw that down. Maybe that'll help us get something crazy. We just need to get 5 damage gone here. Oh, but we have to hit through a 3 shield. But if we can defeat her with, hit her with like undefendable damage, we're good. Well, we're adjacent, so we don't have to spend momentum. I'm going to buy Archangel, actually. I'm going to spend 2 on Archangel in the main phase, so we have 0 momentum, so that if we roll 2 of one symbol and 3 of another, we could fire off this ability to gain flight, deal 6 damage. And we could make it 7 with this, which is still not enough to kill her. But that's my theory. And I think it just adds an extra ability, right? It's like just like adding a new one of these. I don't know if it's in addition to. They give you a new offensive ability, which is considered to be one of your own abilities on your hero board. These abilities will mention if they're range or default melee during your roll phase. You may still only activate 1 offensive ability, whether it's on an ally or not. There's my answer. Perfect. So it just gives us an additional option. So we should be able to hit something cool and get something going, hopefully. One, 4, 4, 4. Well, that literally is 2 of one symbol, 3 of another. What the heck? But it also is Hunter. So let's see what's good here. Hunter is draw a card, deal 6 damage, roll 4 dice, and gain 1 times masks rolled rage counters. And I'm pretty sure while I'm doing that, I could spend those rage counters immediately. I only have 1 card though to start going as part of that. Maybe not. Maybe I can't add modifiers. I don't know at that point. Probably not. I don't know. Or I can gain flight, which flight is... Whoa. Knocking tokens everywhere. With the giant rulebook. Serenity now. All right. Flight is positive stat effects. Players may choose to spend these tokens at any time during the roll phase. Once spent, roll 2 dice. If a 6 was rolled, activate the token. When activated during their offensive roll phase, the player's attack becomes undefendable. If activated during the defensive roll phase, ignore all incoming damage. I don't think I'll ever hit that 6, but hey, that's still cool. I could gain an additional flight token, exhaust this guy right away, and then inflict poison. Poison is a negative stat effect. A player afflicted with poison is dealt 1 damage per poison token during their upkeep phase. Persistent, stack limit 3. So I could apply poison to her, and that's like going through her shield. But I obviously would break the shield away first. And then she'd be dead in 2 rounds, unless she healed. Oh, but she removes status effects as part of defense, so that's probably not the best way to do it either. Yeah, she kind of has the answer to him. All right. Let's just keep it. We'll do Hunter. We're going to draw a card. Frenzy, sick. Deals 6 damage. It's actually going to be 7. I'm going to spend this token. 3 gets eaten up. 4 gets through. She's down to 1. I'm going to roll 4 dice. And for any 6s, which I rolled 2 6s, I gain a rage counter. Awesome. Okay. All right. And her defensive ability doesn't matter. Oh, she gains an evasive token, 1 per hero. Come on, man. If you would exceed the sack limit, heal 3 for each token that would have been gained. Okay. Oh, wait, what am I doing? She attacks me first. Yeah, she attacks me first, sorry. I didn't do her part. Yeah, she just defended. Now it's her attack against me. I'm being silly. Getting ahead of myself. 1, 2, 2, 5. So she doesn't fire off the first ability. Doesn't fire off the second. She fires off her weakest one, which is a multi-strike range. Deal 4 undefendable damage. So I'm down to 13. It's crit, so she's going to inflict 2 bleeds on me because I have these tokens here. Then these tokens will resolve. I get a +1. And transfer 1 status effect token or gain 2 momentum. I can just bleed her, right? She's gonna get this though. Yeah, I'll transfer this token to her. She's bleeding. Yeah. Okay. I can't defend, unfortunately, so I would like to have killed her with my defensive ability, but it's undefendable. Okay, now she'll get the evasive token. And can that type of damage be prevented? How does that work? So if she's going to bleed and take a damage possibly, that's a red border. I think that's undefendable. But it is avoidable, so she can avoid it using the evade token, I think. Pretty sure that's how that works. I always get confused by this stuff. Okay. So she's got evasive, she's got bleed. I transfer token to her off the Christ critical. Okay. Our turn. Upkeep. We have to do our die roll, but she doesn't yet till her phase anyway, right? So I don't think we're getting her here. I rolled a 1, so I'll bleed. I gain points. And then there's even beefed up versions of the cards. Astonishing recovery. If this card's discarded as a result of spending a rage, roll 2 dice. On a 6, return this card to your hand. If no 6 is rolled, heal 2. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, that evasive token is so annoying. All right, movement. I'm going to go here, gain a momentum. Okay, we got 2, 3, 3, 5, 6. Why? I mean, literally, she's gonna evade whatever. If it's lethal, she's evading it. So it kind of doesn't matter, right? It's kind of like a full turn we get screwed. So I kind of want like a heal effect. Well, no, I still want damage, right? So I have 3 of a kind. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm just rolling these. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep this. So this is going to do 6 damage. She just evades it, right? So I'm not going to add any extra to it. But on 3 of a kind, I get to heal back up to 15 for 3. I think she could die on her own upkeep phase from the bleed I gave her. Oh, no. She removes a random negative status effect right now, right? Because I chose to attack her. I shouldn't have done that, maybe. But she would evade the other one. Yeah, sorry. She removes it anyway. She's not going to die. Yeah, she removes it part of her defense. Ah! Okay. Yeah. If you attack her first, then she cannot avoid it. Player afflicted with this token must roll 1 die during the upkeep phase. Nope, that's not the one I'm looking for. Avoid. Henchmen and bosses will spend evasive tokens necessary to prevent a source of damage, dealing 4 plus damage, or to prevent lethal damage. Yeah, which that would have killed her, so she got to prevent it, right? Yeah, she got. I know. I forgot about this too. Yeah, I forgot. Negative status effects don't really do anything to her. If I had multiple, it would be a random one, so maybe it would leave that one behind. But all right. Oh no. Oh no. The worst effect. Multi-strike range. She's gonna gain evasive again. I got nothing. No. No. And then she's gonna deal 10 damage. Which I can defend against this. But I'm literally down to 5. I'm going to roll 4 dice for my defensive ability. I got 2 claws and 1 mask. So I deal 2 red damage, which I think she just ignores. Because it would be lethal, right? And then I gain a rage token. I know it all happens simultaneous, right? So I don't think I kill her there, right? 12, she still has to roll. How have you been rolling? Oh, I wasn't rolling for the evasion. Thank you. Oh, I'm so dumb. No, you don't roll. You don't roll on her side, I think, right? Oh, do they still? I thought they just do this part. I didn't realize they roll still. Oh, they still roll. Okay, my bad. Han, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I forgot about the roll. So she could already be dead. She could already be dead, right? So if we fail at this first one, she's dead no matter what. But we'll do 2, right? Because she spent a token earlier. Oh, I'm so silly. I misunderstood it. I thought this effect overwrote this effect, so she just like auto spends, right? She rolled a 2. They must choose to spend it. If spent roll of the outcome is a 1 to 2, no damage is received. All other associated effects may still apply. Multiple tokens may be spent in an attempt to prevent the same source of damage. Okay, so now we'll roll for the second one, right? So if this fails, she's dead. But if she rolls a 1 or 2, she's still alive. Oh, I'm a dummy. I played this earlier last week. I definitely made it way harder for myself then too. She got a 3. We're good. So she's dead. Blech. Okay, I didn't understand that's how that worked. Okay. Makes sense, makes sense. So we win. Mystique is captured and the bomb is defused. Yay! We did it. Yep, they are a player that just tells you when to spend it. Yeah, it makes complete sense based on what my understanding is of the game now. That makes way more sense. That makes way more sense. Boom, there it is. We did it, we won. Barely. Yeah, that was a little scary. Even with all my heal, I got down to 5. And I didn't get many dice mitigation. We drew like quite a bit of cards. Another recovery. Oh, change the value of one of our dice to a 6. That could have been cool at some points. Is that all you got? Play after being attacked to gain 2 rage. If you're attacked with the defendable damage, you may still choose to skip your defense roll to gain 2 CP. Huh? Yeah, there's like Astonishing Frenzy. Yeah, that's like all the unique cards. We saw everything else that's unique to Wolverine. Everything else I think is just generic like dice thrown cards. But yeah, definitely a straightforward character, just basically dealing damage and healing. Like that's all he does. He's super straightforward. It's a great character to learn with, to try out, keeps things simple. Just like in any good game, like, you know, just a straight damage and healers, like, or damage and defenders, like kind of the basic one to learn with is good. Definitely good. I love upgrading the boards with cards. It's so good. So good. This is like my favorite. I love doing this. So good. But yeah, we won barely. So, oh, Han, thank you so much. Han's been a member for 28 months. Great game. I've been enjoying this one and now Marvel Champions because of you. Oh, you're welcome. Loving all the X-Men stuff. Hashtag Rob made me buy it. Very nice. Yeah. All about the X-Men. Although, unfortunately, they put more Marvel stuff in here too. But lots of X-Men goodness. I definitely want to play it again on stream if you guys are cool with that. And I would just probably pick... I don't think I'll play against Mr. Sinister. It's like just level 1, kind of boring probably. We got Sebastian Shaw, who's a level 2. We got level 3 Savage Sentinels. Level 3 Magneto. Yeah, I'm not going to play level 4. Maybe I'll stick to like level 2 still, because obviously I did not blow that out like I thought maybe I could. But let's do our perks. Let's do our perks before we go. So, I'm going to try to figure this out here. So, for each perk point you earn, fill in a circle that is less than or equal to the mission's difficulty awarded that awarded the perk point. Once all circles for a specific perk are filled in, you unlock that perk. This applies to all future missions regardless of which hero or friends you play with. All perks are cumulative. So because we just played difficulty 2, and we earned 2 perk points, one from doing the main objective on one side, one from doing the main objective on the other side. We didn't get the perfect one. So I can spend 2 points to check in anything in this row or this row, I think is how it works. I just don't know if I have to check this off before checking these off. That I'm not sure. But maybe I'll just only check in this row. Are we back? Jeez Louise, another power outage. Yeah, it went out like 3 times. It was like, went black. 10 seconds later, came back on. I stand up to go turn the lights back on, and it goes all out again. And then I stand up again, turn the lights back on, and goes out again. And then I was like ready to like lose my mind. So close. We almost got to the end without it coming back. Thank you. Thank you, Janet. All right, so we're good. You guys can see me and hear me. Yeah, Mel's at work today. She's not here. So it's definitely not her like sticking forks in sockets on the wall or anything weird. It's warmer than usual today and snow's melting like crazy. I don't know if that would cause any problems. I don't know. But yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. I assume the first one was someone like hitting a pole or something, but then the power would be out longer, right? I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, back to our perks. Getting goodies. I need a pencil. Where did I... little flustered over here. Can you guys hear me? Okay, we're good. All right, so we can spend 2 points. And you say the momentum is cumulative. I see. Because they say plus, right? So, what can we do here? They increase our starting health. At game start, a chosen enemy is inflicted with focus fire. That lets us do some kind of like, yeah, every time they're hit, they get 1 extra damage. That's kind of neat. I like this one. Starting with momentum, I think, is the play. Yeah, I'm going to start the game with 1 momentum. I'm going to fill those 2 in. And then we'll put our name on here. Okay. Rob. Right there. Okay. And we tear this off. Okay. And then when we play in the future, if we have any of these unlocked, these are like one-time effects. I think you like put these tokens on here. And then once you're in the game, you can kind of spend the token to fire it off. And how it's meant to go is like tucked under your mat. So you kind of just like tuck it under. And then you would like, based on the abilities you have unlocked, you get like one-time effects to like pop off. Momentum is the top row and not heroism. Momentum is the top row and not heroism? What? Oh. No, but this one I could just start the game with 1 momentum instead of none. Up here, I could try to get my card leveled up, but I wanted to just check off stuff in this row. But up here, the momentum, it just increases like our level of the momentum card and what abilities we have access to. What I was saying, I want to just up my momentum, like my actual resource. So I start the game with 1 momentum is what I meant. I'm sorry if I said that wrong or weird. But yeah, you're right. Momentum is this top row. This is heroism, but I want momentum, so I picked that. If that makes sense. But yeah, there we go. There we go. So yeah, I'd love to sit here and talk forever about my thoughts on the game, but I will try to keep it quick before the power goes out again and I lose my mind. So I definitely like this better than Dice Throne Adventures. That felt not great. It was okay. It was doable, but it definitely, I don't think it was worth the money and wasn't that great, wasn't that interesting. But I don't have great memories of it being that awesome that I wanted to go back to it. But it was a cool way to have a Dice Throne campaign, right? Still could be the preferred method, but not really what I'm looking for. Dice Throne is cool, more kind of like casual, but can be taken seriously, kind of deep. I love just pulling it out, playing against my daughter or Mel, and a 1v1, kind of like I like doing with like Star Wars Unlimited or Keyforge or any of these like competitive card games, right? It just fills that void, but it has the appeal of a huge toy factor of being very bright, flashy, attractive to younger players, I feel, or fans of comics in this case. But the colorful dice, the flashy looking boards, the cool looking cards, it just has that great like flashy toy factor, which when you shave all that away, it's just literally throwing dice and playing cards to change dice. It's just like basic Yahtzee, fighting each other, whatever. But it makes it more interesting managing the combat points and the health and cards and you know, trying to mitigate your dice rolls and spending tokens and applying tokens. There's a little more to it, and it's a little deeper than that, but it still is pretty casual. So missions, the way I can just pick one mission, sit down for an hour or so, and go through when no one's around even to play solo, and I can play Dice Throne and try out different characters without having to force somebody to play with me. You know what I'm saying? But the cool part is I can also, if the competitive side rubs people the wrong way and they don't like the competitive version, and you really love Dice Throne and like you only get to play it competitively with your other friends, you could play it at home with people who might not like the competitive side of it and actually play cooperatively together fighting bad guys. And that might let you get dice thrown to the table more than you might otherwise. So I would not buy this. I would not buy Dice Throne myself, personally. My feelings on it are, I would not buy missions if I didn't already own Dice Throne stuff, play Dice Throne, and love Dice Throne, okay? Missions is a cool way. When I looked at it, when it was on crowdfunding, was like, Mel and I were both like, yeah, that looks pretty neat. I like the Marvel stuff. I like X-Men theme. I'm a sucker for X-Men. I'm in. And it turns out it's like on par with where I thought it would be. I didn't think it'd be anything crazy, but they actually did a pretty good job with it. And I haven't played any of the more probably interesting, complex, more difficult stuff. But the idea of leveling up on a perk sheet, playing any character I want, and still carrying those perks over from game to game, being able to play 1 to 4 players, fighting against characters that I like and characters that are familiar to anyone who watches Marvel movies or reads comics and stuff, or shows, I guess. Just the ability to play Dice Throne and get it on the table more than I would otherwise was a huge appeal to me, and I think they did a fine job. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's cool. You still have the Dice Throne feel. You're still spending tokens, playing cards. It feels just like Dice Throne, and like I was playing against an automated Dice Throne player in like a solo mode. It really did simulate that, honestly. I don't like the lazy like little movement. Doesn't really, you just pick wherever you want to go, and range just hits anywhere and there's no line of sight. But again, this game is meant to be casual and targeted at lighter gamers, but still could be taken more seriously. So I understand why they didn't want to like bloat it out with tons and tons of like more hardcore board game rules to make it more interesting with like worrying about movement points and range distances and lines of sight and stuff like that. But that's what I thought I was going to get into, but then they kind of just didn't really deal with that. And it's just like, just about collecting resources of health and combat points and just like being in the right spot and attacking the right enemy and mitigating dice rolls. So all the stuff you like in Dice Throne is here. It's a nice way to make it basically play against the AI. The setup, a little fiddly with the tokens, but dice fix that for me, and I'm fine playing with dice as I do in all my other cooperative card games, like, you know, Lord of the Rings LCG and Marvel Champions and stuff like that. I just love playing with dice. I don't need to fiddle with 100 different tokens to track 100 different things. It does look nicer with the tokens, but it's fiddly. Not a fan. But yeah, I like the ally stuff, definitely. I like this whole ally thing here. This is kind of neat, just giving you a way to change it up, giving you different abilities that spice up a character and allowing another way to spend momentum. So if you're not using it for range, defense, and attack because you're always up in someone's face, at least you have another way to use it. And again, you can upgrade your momentum cards and have even other ways to spend it too. So I like this momentum solution by just tying everything that's needed to play cooperative or solo, just tie it into another resource and add it as an extra layer on the game. But it's not complicated. It doesn't make it too mind-blowing or anything like that, but it just gives you the dice throne feel on the table, and you don't need another player, or you can have other players and just avoid competitiveness that maybe they don't like. But I think they did a solid job. It's definitely like high production quality. This game's like pretty overproduced, but that's part of the appeal of it, right? Like, I love custom dice in games, and this game is like one of the best, maybe the best custom dice in any game. Like, they always look amazing. They're like, you know, big, readable. The contrast is good. I don't know. They just look sick. Like, the boards look sick. The art is sick. You know, I don't know. Like, this is all awesome. It just looks amazing. It has a huge toy factor to it. Very tactile and looks beautiful on the table. Yeah. But yeah, if you already own Marvel Champions, like, I don't know if you need this, but again, I know I could find way more players that would play this with me over Marvel Champions, because Marvel Champions is a little harder to teach and build decks for everybody and all that kind of stuff. There's more pre-work done. You don't have to do it for Dice Throne. You could teach Dice Throne way faster than you could teach Marvel Champions and get to playing. I would just play like a competitive game of Dice Throne first, and then boom, slap out this. But yeah, definitely cool. I definitely want to stream more of it, so if you're interested, hit the like button. Let me know in the comments below. I saw Han is asking, saying, I love Gambit. Do you have the box set? Yeah, I do. I do. So you think I should try Gambit? I tried Cyclops, and I got out Deadpool. I also have Deadpool that I got with this, who I was going to play with because he looks silly. But yeah, I could try Gambit next. Allenback says, when Roxley joined the designers, the game got deluxeified. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah, I always love the Roxley versions, right? They always like make things like, yeah, they do a good job with the graphic design and like the premiumness of the game for sure. But even the basic versions are nice. Like, we had the Marvel Dice Throne that was like sold at Target. We got like a set of that, and that was still nice. It was still good. It had the inserts and everything. It was still cool. At a lower price, it's fine. But yeah. Anyways, there you go. That's Dice Throne missions. Marvel Dice Throne missions, to be specific. So yeah, maybe I'll try out a different scenario and see how it's different, and keep leveling up. I might do some playing off stream and level up a bit more on the sheet. I'll probably add the 4 points that I got when I was learning the game, and I'll add those to the sheet also, just to change it up a bit. Maybe we could play like a little higher difficulty. But yeah. Oh, Hallenbach says the new retail of the X-Men is old sheets and not foldable heroes. Oh. So they... What? Really? So they don't have the inserts? I didn't know that. I didn't know how the first Kickstarter was, Hallenbach. Yeah, I didn't know about Dice Throne at that time. I don't know what the original printing was like. So you're saying they like reverted, made it even cheaper? That sucks. Oh, that sucks. Damn. Yeah, I don't know what that looked like, but I'll take your word for it. So back then, it was before Roxley. I get it. So Roxley came along and like beefed it all up for like the second Kickstarter and stuff. I get it. Yeah, because I know they redid the first season, right? And they called it like Reloaded or something. And they like redid it, like they did another crowdfunding campaign on that one. Yeah, I remember. Anyways, that's going to be it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned. If you want to see more Dice Throne missions, just make sure you're subscribed or check the playlist I've included in the video description if you want to see more Dice Throne or Marvel Dice Throne and all that stuff. The next stream will be scheduled and put in that playlist, or just check your subscription feed. But I'm scared the power's going to go out, so I'm going to get out of here. But thank you everyone for hanging out. Stay tuned. We'll be playing more Iridia on the channel, more Dice Throne missions, and other games, of course. If you're missing us, check the playlist section. Tons of hours of many other games on the channel, of course. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.